Last time I'll play a Christmas song. Last one. We early. We starting early. Let's just roll it in early. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2024. Welcome to the first show of 2024. I made my prosperity goulash today. Black eyed peas, celery, onions, jalapenos, collard greens, ham hock, bacon, some sort of sausage. I don't know which kind it was, but it was good. It was good. Did that today, so I'm full. I'm stuffed. I'm tired. The holiday season's been rough on you, boy. Been working and drinking too much. Um, so I'm on chill mode today. I drank too much yesterday. I was streaming all day, drinking New Year, celebrating New Year's Eve. So it was a good time. Went on Steve Harloa's channel. That was awesome. That was cool. And last week didn't talk about no politics. Last week it was just Christmas stuff. So I guess we got to get back to the politics this week. It's 2024. It's election year, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I feel hyped up yet. I'm a little concerned, to say the least. So we gotta really, we're just gonna read through Trump news today. Trump has been. We didn't talk about the Colorado ballot last week because it was Christmas, and I didn't want to talk about it. And now, the main ballot. Trump's been taken off of 2 ballots, I guess legally, but it shouldn't be legal. And hopefully it won't hold up and it means nothing. And it's just another attack on you, boy. Another attack on Don. You know, another witch hunt. Russia, 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 Ukraine, 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 Israel, Israel, Israel. Hookers. They care about Trump's past with ladies, but they don't care about dang old Biden's past with ladies. Anyway, there's been an ambulance going by multiple times today. People lighting the mountain on fire with fireworks. So we're gonna get all informed. I'm gonna be doing live research. We're gonna read all the articles, learn about the 14th Amendment, insurrection. We kind of saw this coming. That's why I've talked about it before. Lots of talking heads have talked about it before. That the reason they're using this word insurrection ever since January 6th happened, which by the way, before next Monday's show happens, is going to be the anniversary of January 6th on an election year. I guess technically It would have to be next January 6th would be the 4-year anniversary. But it's January 6th Memorial, and Alex Jones, Glenn Greenwald, and Destiny are going to be debating. So that'll be pretty cool on the 6th, which should be Tuesday. Tuesday. I don't know. The schedule's going to be weird right now because I'm temporarily uh not at UPS. I have to wait 6 weeks and then reapply because I was it's a long story and I don't want to go into all my personal life, but I got another job lined up for nights, plus I got a lot of renovation work to do. So it's all right. There's work to do. There's work to do. What's the point I was getting at? Oh, yeah, so like times for shows may change up here for like the next 2 or 3 months because I might be taking a temporary night job, 40 hours a week overnight, um, for the time being until I can go back to UPS because I started late in the season and they only keep so many of the new people who stick around and they go by the ones who started first in the peak season. And I started late in the peak season because of a bunch of paperwork problems. And but I'm not like I can reapply and get the job back there. So I'm just gonna do something else temporarily. But the timing for the streams may change. But it'd be cool if I could stream during that debate because that's gonna be. I'm pretty excited about that debate. It should be pretty good. Destiny versus. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about all the Trump stuff, all the Trump news, the ballot, taking him off the ballot, the assault on you, boy. And then that's all for the main story news. Memes, reels, rapid fire news. Maybe we'll talk about Steve's show. That was fun. Reminisce on 2023. What are the goals for 2024? Do we set goals for 2024 or do we just always have consistent goals? That's deep. um, maybe we'll do some updates on some things that I didn't really talk too much about last week because I wasn't in news mood. And then Dean asked in the comments, he had been asking about like cryptos and one world currencies and stuff like that in the comments. And I was like, I think I've done a show on ESG before, but I've never done a show on CBDCs, Central Bank Digital Currencies, which I don't know. Some people are saying it's been shut down. I think it's still happening behind the scenes, but we'll do a deep dive into CBDCs later on at the end of the show. But it'll be a chill show. It'll be a chillaxed evening. Um, if anybody has thoughts on January 6th or Trump being taken off ballots, maybe maybe here in about an hour, you could let me know about it. Tell me about it. But let's get into this news. Where's my sound effects? Oh no, no more Christmas sounds. We are off the Christmas sounds. Where am I? Let's get into the news. Nuke time. Oh, we got to get rid of Pelosi. I'm sorry, Pelosi, but this is the last time.
Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah.
Until next year, Pelosi, you got to get off the soundboard. Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah. Put on your yarmulke. Here comes Hanukkah. It's so much Hanukkah. What happens on another thing happens on January 6th too. It's like a Catholic holiday. Dang, what's it called? I think we mentioned it the other day. That's coming up too. Let's read about this from CNN or watch this CNN video, and then we'll start doing some reading. And we're just going to read all this stuff because they're basically using the 14th Amendment with the insurrection clause to say that Trump committed an insurrection. The arguments against it are that it only applies to certain type of elected officials, that Trump wasn't. That's one of the arguments. The other argument is due process, because they're going off of Article 3. Me and Freddie talked about this months ago. Freddie knew it was coming. Everybody knew it was coming. So this isn't a shock or a surprise. But we're going to do a refresher course because it's election year and it's 2024. And like Lord Spike in the chat said, this gonna be our year. I hope so. I hope so. I like to hope for the best and expect the worst because I don't know, man. I've been joking whenever I say, so who you voting for, DeSantis or Newsom? Because I don't know. I don't know about either if these guys are going to make it on that ballot. This year's about to be crazy. You don't know what's going to happen. We're going to be at 4 different wars with our greatest enemies, with a very feminized military, stretched very thin. We got tech. We got tech though. You know, bricks. The bricks are stacking up against us. How many more countries are they going to add to BRICS? They're going to have to make a crazy acronym. How can you make the word BRICS longer? Brixonologianism or something. I don't know. They're going to have to make a crazy word once they get all them countries in there. How are you going to fit Venezuela into BRICS? That acronym just got crazy. BRICS. BRICS. Anyway, let's look into this Trump stuff. My point is, it's not a shocker. It's not surprising. They're using Article 3, but they're leaving out due process, which I believe is Article 5, or it's in the Fifth Amendment or something. I'm not some constitutional expert. My Bible's my constitution. Um, but let's look at what CNN talking about.
John, when we look at this, perhaps not surprisingly, we heard pretty quickly from the Trump campaign.
Perhaps not surprisingly.
Hold on, where's my camera?
Perhaps not surprisingly, Trump got taken off another ballot.
CNN, Commie News Network.
Slamming this decision just moments ago, saying in part, quote, Biden and the Democrats simply do not trust the American voter in a free and fair election.
What the? You think I trust Biden in a free and fair election? I don't trust him to vote. I don't think he should be allowed to vote.
How potent of a political argument can that be? We're hearing this from a lot of Republicans. Hey, leave it up to the voters to decide. Put somebody on the ballot and they'll tell you whether they should be in office or not.
Well, they like to ignore the Constitution. We know that. I think the main decision is very solid. It was fully briefed. There is ample due process in this proceeding, and they just lost by.
But as soon as the Supreme Court says, okay, we're going to hear this case, they have to put him back on the ballot. That's the whole due process argument, is that, yes, due process is going to run its course. He's going to have to go to Supreme Court, take this to the Supreme Court eventually. All they have to do is delay it. As soon as they say they're going to hear the case, they have to put him back on the ballot. That's due process. And due process take a long time, my boy. I'm sorry, Democrats. You made the system this way. You reap what you sow. It's going to take a while to get our boy up in there.
By a straight, honest reading of the 14th Amendment, Trump's in trouble. He's in trouble wherever this is legitimately raised and addressed. So, yes, the Supreme Court is going to have to weigh in on it. I want to see those strict constructionists and originalists get around that language. How are they going to do it? I don't know. It looks so applicable, Erica. I don't know what they can do with it other than taking.
Is it applicable, though? It's only applicable if Trump commit an insurrection. And I've been watching Destiny doing his research on January 6th. If Trump felt that the election, that something was amiss in the election, and he had reasonable questions, and he asked Pence, hey, can you look into this? Do you have the power to look into this? That does not call for an insurrection. Given a speech, you know, he would never call for the peacefully and patriotically make our voices heard. We've all heard it 1,000 times. You know, there were ops in that crowd. Destiny can't even deny it now. He's seen the proof. Ray Epps, there were ops in that crowd. And there was police who were kind of encouraging it, waving them along. All that. So that's the insurrection. So this is all about January 6th. As January 6th in 2024 approaches us, they're trying to take Trump out for an insurrection, and they've been calling it an insurrection for 4 years now, feeding that to the people. So the Court of Mass Appeal already, even conservatives, we've seen people on the right, like Kayleigh McEnany, when she takes her Fox job, she's like, these crazy insurrectionists. And all these people on the right, they got fed it so much too. They got drip fed it so much that they believed into it now, that it was a horrible insurrection, the worst insurrection in history. If you look up insurrections in history, usually a lot more than, two women getting killed by, two unarmed white women getting killed by black officers. Usually there's a lot more death than that. And that's like the only deaths on January 6th. Yeah, some guys might have offed themselves a couple days later because they were in on the Why did they do that? Guilt. Guilt. It wasn't like, oh, my country is fallen. What am I doing? Yeah, it was guilt because they had to know, yo, something's not right here. Something is going on. And questioning that doesn't make you an enemy of the state. It makes you the friend of the state. It makes you it makes you the people, the owner of the state. Let's see what CNN's writing about. Risks of US electoral chaos deepen after Trump is barred from another state ballot. So first it was Colorado. We'll look into Colorado. Actually, let's jump to Colorado first. So let's follow the chronological order here. So from AP, Colorado Supreme Court declares Donald Trump is ineligible for the White House. Denver AP, a divided Colorado Supreme Court on Tuesday declared former President Donald Trump ineligible for the White House under the U.S. Constitution's insurrection clause and removed him from the state's presidential primary ballot, setting up a likely showdown in the nation's highest court to decide whether the frontrunner of the GOP nomination can remain in the race. The decision from a court whose justices were all appointed by Democratic governors, marks the first time in history that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. And they're trying to use 25th for Biden. Don't forget that. Like, but he's a puppet. I think that's a op. Like, they're really not going to try to use, they would love for Biden to be up there again. He's the perfect puppet. They don't want, Newsom's sharp. He's a good face for them, but he's a little too uncontrollable. Give him 40 more years destroying California, and then he can be a perfect dictator. Well, the decision from a court. A majority of the court holds that Trump is disqualified from holding the office of president under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, the court wrote in its 4-3 decision. Colorado's highest court overturned a ruling from a district court judge who found that Trump incited an insurrection for his role in the January 6, 2021 attack. Sorry, guys, I ate big today. Yo, I ate that dang New Year's goulash. I've been drinking just a couple beers today because was a little hungover from yesterday, so we just gotta take it down slowly, And then we gotta cut that. We gotta go back to like maybe 1 or 2 beers a day tops, because the holidays, man. I blame Santa Claus, you know. So they're trying. So this is from AP on what day? 7:56 Mountain Standard Time on the 19th. So this was December 19th. This was actually 2 weeks ago. This would have been, I think I did touch on it in the show last week, but we weren't really doing politics. But so just catching you up, Colorado does it first. And then a week goes by, a week and a half, and then he gets hit by Maine. Now Maine's taking him up, the liberal ass Maine. Dang on Stephen King land. Lobsters and what else is the main thing? Lobsters and cheese or something like that, and Stephen King. I can't believe I cherished Stephen King for so much of my life, and then I find out he's such a bleeding heart liberal now. Oh, it's sad. His daughter's crazy too. She got a church. Anyway, sidebar. Let's get back to the story. So this is the main story. Maine pitched the 2024 election into deeper chaos and constitutional confusion Thursday by becoming the second state to throw Donald Trump off the ballot over the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. The move from the Maine Secretary of State, following the similar decision from the Colorado Supreme Court earlier this month, worsened a growing crisis for Trump's campaign and strengthened the rationale for the U.S. Supreme Court to take up the issue arising from the 14th Amendment's insurrectionist ban. It has already exacerbated the havoc already surrounding the election and could cement even wider national divides. Yeah. The increasing uncertainty urgently needs, what is this, Eminem? Did Eminem write this article? Needs a resolution, with Iowa poised to kick off voting in the Republican-nominated race on January 15th and other key ballot deadlines looming. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, a Democrat, paused her decision pending a potential appeal in the state court, which Trump's team said they intended to file. Oh, they're going to file that appeal. Decision came on the same day that Trump ascendant rival in New Hampshire, Nikki Haley, tried to stop her gaffe over slavery. Nikki Haley made a slavery gaffe? Pause. Sidebar. I missed this story. What'd she say? Is Nikki Haley based? What'd she say? What'd she say? She sought to clarify her comments about the Civil War one one day after a voter in New Hampshire called her out for not mentioning slavery as a cause of the war. That's because it wasn't the main cause of the war. Based Nikki Haley. I mean, of course, the Civil War was about slavery. Hey, yeah, that's the that pivot back, that dip back. She cutting back. She's like, oh, I screwed up. I screwed up. Kind of. She's doing that quarterback sneak. No, I didn't. Yeah, of course, the Civil War was about slavery, guys. Of course, that's all it was about. In fact, her comments come amid intense backlash inside and outside. So Nikki Haley was based, and then she proved she wasn't actually based. She just accidentally was based, and she backtracked. She backtracked on that. I don't know what that has to do with this, but the drama surrounding the former South Carolina governor less than 3 weeks before voting starts is also having the effect of easing the scrutiny. So what if like Republican state people, is Nikki Haley like, what if, yeah, man, I'm worried. They're going to just start ripping him off ballots, trying to do crazy stuff. And when this doesn't work, we know the next step. We know the next step. Next step is they're going to John Wilkes Booth his ass. They're going to get somebody with 3 names. The presidential assassins always have 3 names. John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald. There are other examples I can't think of off the top of my head. They're going to 3-name guy Donald Trump is what I'm worried about. I'm thinking wars. I'm thinking plagues and pestilence. These are my prophecies. I'm just kidding. That's blasphemy. I'm not a prophet. For 2024. Just guesses. These are my hypotheses. Based off of observation, my guesses of what might happen. Lots of war. Pestilence. Some sort of plague. Food shortages. Fake food shortages. Made up food shortages from climate change. One world currency. Uprisings around the world against America. Our enemies teaming up against us. It's going to be crazy. AI taking over. People becoming dumber. Everybody going to get dumber. AI's taking over. The information age is going to turn to the idiocracy age. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Poor people having lots of babies. Smart, hardworking people ain't having no babies. 2024, we're starting to see the effects of it in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Oh, the water's boiling, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. No, don't take off all your clothes. Don't do that. Let's see what Politico got to talk about in this article from Politico. Everything you need to know about Trump and the 14th Amendment. Well, first, let's do the 14th Amendment. Let's go there first. I'm like jumping out of my order, but I'd rather we hit up this 14th Amendment action first. So, passed by the Senate on June 8th, 1866, and ratified 2 years later on July 9th, 1868, the 14th Amendment granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, including formerly enslaved people, and provided all citizens with equal protection under the laws extending. So they're using this for like immigration. Also, the third, Article 3, Section 3, no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president, or elector of president. Elector of president. That means like a candidate for president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States. Hold on. Under the United States or under any state, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, but Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. This is why I don't like all these amendments, because how does this jive with the Second Amendment, which talks about being protected from a tyrannical government? How do you uprise against a tyrannical government without it being considered an insurrection? I don't even. This is what I'm saying, man. And also, so one of the arguments I was hearing in the beginning of this, I think it might have been debunked, or maybe it hasn't. Maybe it's a good, a good point, is that I don't think any of this elector of president is that like somebody on the electoral college, or is that somebody running for president? Because none of this really says president. Trump was never ran a state or was on Congress or any of that stuff. He was a dang real estate guy who just jumped up in that president seat. So let me read it one more time. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president. What does that mean? Elector of president. Does that mean somebody who's running for president, or does that mean like somebody on like the electoral college, or what is that? I don't know. I'm not a constitutional expert. Or hold any office, civil or military, any office under the United States or under any state, who having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress, so he did not take an oath as a member of Congress, I don't think, or as an officer of the United States. He did not take an oath as an officer or a member of Congress. He took an oath as president, or as a member of any Senate legislature. He didn't do that. Or as an executive or judicial officer of any state. He was never that. To support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same. But it still just boils down to he was never charged. Nobody was charged with insurrection because it wasn't an insurrection. This is just, they're hoping the court of public opinion, the same way that it worked with George Floyd, they're hoping the same thing's going to happen again, especially with an election year and social media like influencing people's minds. They've pounded it into our heads that Trump led an insurrection. And so now even conservatives are like, well, maybe he did an insurrection. I guess I'm voting for Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis. Dumb. Dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. 14th Amendment. So what's the rest of the fourth? All persons. So the naturalization amendment, and it's got, but what is section 5? 14th Amendment. Section 5. Section 5. Section 3. What's the due process thing? 14th Amendment, Section 5, the Congress shall have power to enforce by appropriate legislation the provisions of this article. Congress, the Section 5 of the 14th Amendment. Two different views regarding scope of Congress. Power under Section 5. Broad accords interpret the 14th Amendment to explain the scope of rights or even create new rights. Congress, this is so dumb. You can just make up rights. Congress may, this is why rights aren't real. The Constitution should not be your founding like worldview or anything. It should be the Bible is the best constitution. If you're gonna if you need a book, if you need something that you read that makes you feel better, I say go with the Bible. No, I do think we need the Bible, but you don't. The Constitution. This is wild. Narrow accords. Congress only prevent or provide remedies of violations of rights recognized by the Supreme Court. Congress cannot expand the scope of rights or provide additional rights. I don't even know what it's talking about. Honestly, I would need a constitutional expert on here because that ain't me. That ain't me. But I guess there's something about due process. Due process clause. Due process clause. It's right here. Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. Right. So it's the Fifth Amendment. Yes, I knew it wasn't the fifth section of the 14th Amendment. It's the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment provides that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of the law. So you can't punish him until he's proven guilty. And if it goes to the Supreme Court, which it will, you got to put him back on the ballot. You can't take him off the ballot. He's not guilty yet. America is innocent until proven guilty. Benjamin Franklin said he'd rather what'd he say? What the heck did Benji say? He might have been a Mason or Illuminati or something, but he said, it's pretty deep, he'd rather one innocent man, he'd rather one guilty man, or wait, what the heck did he say? Why can't I think right now? I'm on slow-mo, guys. He'd rather uh all the guilty people go free than one innocent man. That might have been about capital punishment. Basically, he'd rather all the guilty people go free than one innocent man get punished for doing something they didn't do. And that's due process. That's why we have innocent until proven guilty. But it's really not like that anymore. I don't trust none of our judicial system. That's why if I was a betting man, I would own I don't know if I would bet on Trump even being on that ballot. Which will mean that I would owe Dane um what the heck is his name? The balloon guy. I owe him $100 if Trump gets taken off the ballot completely. If something crazy happens and Trump's not on the ballot, I owe somebody $100 because he said DeSantis was going to be that guy. Actually, he said DeSantis would win, so DeSantis could get on the ballot, but then he's got to beat Biden. And you'd think that beating Weekend at Bernie's in a voting contest would be simple. Not when, not when Bernie dang running the dang contest. It doesn't it doesn't go too well when you're getting in a election race against a zombie, but the zombie's handlers control the system basically. Looks like sticking with the protein. What the? It's the law of the land. It's great. Yeah, if it was for moral and religious people as intended, but it's not. It defends a lot of mess. Anyway, so that's the 14th Amendment. Now let's jump back to where we were. Everything, what Politico is going to tell me I need to know about the 14th Amendment. If you're confused by news over the last few weeks about Donald Trump's eligibility to appear on the 2024 ballot in several states, you're not alone. A slew of state courts and election officials have issued rulings on complicated questions of law and constitutional history, rooted in interpretations of the 14th Amendment. They have led to a dizzying array of legal conclusions about whether Trump engaged in an insurrection when a mob of his supporters attacked the Capitol on January 6, 2021. The Colorado Supreme Court deemed Trump ineligible to serve as president again. Maine Secretary of State, the state's top election official, and a Democrat made a similar determination. But the state Supreme Courts in both Michigan and Minnesota have allowed Trump to remain on their primary ballots, and California's Secretary of State did as well. The scattershots decision have turned the spotlight onto who else the U.S. Supreme Court, which many legal experts expect to be the final arbiter of Trump's fate. It's been a lot, we know. So in an effort to unpack it, we asked our team, blah, 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 tell us about it. Okay, let's go. What's actually going on here? 14th Amendment of the Constitution includes a clause that prohibits anyone who has engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. government from holding elected office if they have previously taken an oath to support the Constitution of the United States. If they were in certain places when they took that oath. I don't think it refers to a president. I didn't see a president as one of the names on that list. Petitioners in nearly every state have invoked that clause to challenge Trump's eligibility to hold the presidency, citing his instigation of the January 6, 2021 riot at the Capitol. It was mostly peaceful, though. Each state has different laws and procedures for determining whether candidates are eligible for office. Colorado's Supreme Court and Maine Secretary of State determined that Trump ran afoul of the 14th Amendment and therefore disqualified from appearing on the state's presidential ballots. So is Trump actually off the ballot in those states? No. Though the rulings were both momentous, there's a decent chance neither of them will have any impact on the actual presidential race. So Politico's saying this. The judges in Colorado and Maine Secretary of State both agree to pause in effect of their ruling while other courts consider the matter. This means it's likely Trump will ultimately appear on the presidential. Yeah, so it's just to get people talking about it, to get people riled up, probably to get conservatives worried. But even if they hadn't done this, I'm still not 100% sure that anything's gonna go how we want it to go. But let's backtrack a bit. 14th Amendment judges in Colorado and Maine both agreed to pause the effect. Yeah, so it's not even going to hold up, but it gets people like on The View talking about it. It gets all the left
talking. Oh my God, you see Trump got taken off. Freddie's gonna be they took your boy on the ballot. They got you, boy. Shut your ass. They got your boy Trump. Well, they're at it again. Here they come to save the day. The Democrats, always trying to take out a good man. The Democrats,
Beta.
beta. They're beta. They're very beta. Some say the most beta is a Democrat. I say probably, probably. Most likely, I would think so.
Let's backtrack a bit. What is the 14th Amendment? Insurrection clause. And has it been used before? Nope. There's really just one modern example of it being used in New Mexico. A local county commissioner, County Griffin, was removed from office in 2022 by a state court after he was found guilty on a trespassing charge for taking part in the January 6th. Oh, so yeah, it's been used before for the same exact situation. Huh. Huh. The liberal watchdog group that sought to remove him from office was Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. See, one of these liberal watchdog groups like the ADL, the SPLC, they got these groups, man. Media Matters, these hit piece groups, and they're watching for you. They're watching for the stochastic terrorism of the radical right, which is now spearheading the efforts to have Trump deemed ineligible. Trump hasn't been found guilty criminally of insurrection in a court, so why is he being denied ballot access under the 14th Amendment in those states? There are diverging legal views on whether Trump was actually found guilty of the crime of insurrection before he can be deemed constitutionally eligible to serve for having engaged in one. Maine Secretary of State acknowledged, okay, blah, 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 Politico. So what's Trump's argument for why he shouldn't be kicked off? Put forth a plethora of arguments for why he should not be disqualified. First and foremost, Trump argues that his actions on January 6th don't constitute participating or aiding in an insurrection. I agree. In fact, they contend January 6th wasn't an insurrection at all because they say it lacked organization and was not violent or prolonged enough to meet the constitutional threshold of an insurrection. Trump always says he was exercising his free speech rights when he exhorted a January 6th crowd to fight like hell. Yeah, which Democrats said 100 bazillion times. Everybody said that. Politically charged language. We understand. We understand metaphors. We're not retarded. I mean, we're not slow. Not supposed to say that. Over to the end. Colorado GOP has argued that its First Amendment rights of free association have been violated by striking Trump from the ballot there, blah, blah, blah. Those are the arguments. Beyond that, more esoteric legal arguments on why the 14th Amendment shouldn't apply here. The amendment does not apply to the office of presidency because the amendment explicitly mentions members of Congress, presidential electors, and any office, civil or military under the United States. So that's what I was saying. That's the way I read it. Not the presidency, which they argue does not fall under any office under the United States. They also say that the oath Trump took as president is more specific than one to support the Constitution. So that part also doesn't apply to him either. Nice. Additionally, that's what I read. Trump's team has argued Section 3 of the 14th Amendment isn't self-executing. Congress and Congress alone can make the determination if someone should be deemed ineligible and not individual courts or election officials. So who actually gets to make the call? Probably the Supreme Court. That's tricky. Each states have different laws, blah, blah, blah. They largely have passed the role of courts to adjudicate this dispute. Adjudicate challenges. Why have some states ruled differently? Could this be decided state by state? Almost certainly not. Yeah, it got to go to the Supreme Court. So Maine and Colorado both taking him off the. Shout out to Don Lemon. He said Nikki Haley would be worse than Trump. Nice. What else? Trump's eligibility for the ballot. Already read that from. It's just ABC. Let's see if they're saying anything different. We're just looking at all the different mainstream media. Looks like it's not saying much different. Legal challenges to Trump's eligibility. Federal courts, more than 24 states, 26 cases were filed by a little-known Republican presidential candidate named John Anthony Castro. Most cases brought by Castro have been dismissed, either voluntarily or by the courts. In 14 states, there are cases pending, according to Lawfare, a national security website that is tracking the Section 3 cases. But in Colorado, a case brought by a group of voters became the first victory in the effort against Trump when the state Supreme Court found he is disqualified from holding office again. You can tell CBS is very biased against Trump. in this article. So California is not taking them off. Colorado is. Landmark decision on December 19th. Maine as well. So it's getting crazy. Um, let's do. Let me see. We did that. Let's learn more about the 14th Amendment just so we can be, know what we're talking about on this. Let's see what this website, independentinstitute.org. So we got a .org, we have some .coms, we have some media, um, just straight Google, and I think we have a .edu here. Yeah, we have a .edu also. So a .org, a bunch of .coms, mainstream media, off media. Um, just really want to get the full grasp of what's going on here. Who created a standard form? I don't know what that is. What's up, man? Godson. Shout out. They put God's name on currency, and other countries do that also. God created life. Who created a world of currency? I don't know. Maybe we'll get into the origins of currency when we later in the show, Dean. We'll talk about the digital currencies, the world digital currencies that they're working on, and I'll explain what my understanding of why we have currency later in the show, Dean. I think it's necessary, but we'll get into all that. Let's make sure we know what the 14th Amendment be talking about. You know, past installments in the Understanding the Constitution series have focused mostly on the original unamended document. The two-part essay is a primer. We're not going to read the whole two-part essay. This is pretty long. I will read all of this, guys, though. So I'm going to read all of this page, so strap in. Even before the Civil War was over, Congress proposed the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery. By the end of 1865, the requisite 3/4 of the states had ratified it. However, the Republicans then controlling Congress favored an additional amendment to protect former slaves from maltreatment in the southern states and to prevent a later Democratic Congress from repudiating Union war debts or paying Confederate debts. More critically, Republicans needed an amendment to validate their Civil Rights Act, passed over President Andrew Johnson's veto on April 9th, 1866, but then in dubious constitutionality. On June 13th, 1866, Congress formally proposed the 14th Amendment. 2 years later, it was declared ratified by the states. The 14th Amendment proved controversial. For one thing, the Congress that proposed it excluded Southern representatives, even though the congressional majority contended that, as a matter of law, the Southern states had never actually seceded. When some Northern state legislators refused to ratify the 14th Amendment, Congress forced Southern states to ratify as the price of re entering Congress. Contributing to the controversy was attempted recession of prior ratifications by Ohio and Oregon. Huh. So this sounds like a bunch of mess, this here 14th Amendment thing, by the way. Just my thoughts. Those disputes have been settled historically by history, largely because every state then in the Union eventually ratified the amendment, but other sources of contention continue, largely because of the measure's poor draftsmanship. I have spent decades immersed in the record of America's founding era, including the great constitutional debates of, I don't want to hear the authors gloating. The high level of public discourse during the era is inspiring, but if you read the 14th Amendment debates, you quickly learn that the participants were not in the same league as the American founders. Really? What were they dumber? We were on the upward swing of the Flint curve. Should have been smarter. Should have been smarter. Maybe they were just more Democrat. Maybe they were just more liberal. Maybe that's it. A little more liberal. No, some of the measure's key components lacked basic constitutional knowledge. No one on either side seems to have understood entirely what all its phrases meant. Different participants, including those on the same side, sometimes understood. Maybe it was somebody with a time machine went into the past and they put it in there just so that they could get Trump taken out and bring about the end of the world. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. That's why it sounded confusing, because they didn't have Trump yet to use it. And while some of the amendments clause such as due process of law have been defined by history, others such as equal protection were largely new. Neither the debates nor the amendment, equal protection sounds Marxist in a mug. Even though Marxism, this is 1787, so that wasn't a thing yet. Was it? No, that was the 40s. That was the 1940s is when all that stuff started happening. So 30s, 20s, yeah. So yeah, this is way before Marx, but still, Marxism is just a guy who wrote about an ideology, and people had that ideology all throughout history. This kind of liberal equal protection stuff has always been in our psyche. Were largely new, neither debates nor amendments full text fully explain them. For these reasons, judges and scholars continue to disagree about the meaning of some of the 14th Amendment's phrases. This installment, next week's blah, 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 other scholars may disagree. Section 1 consists of 4 distinct clauses. It begins with the Citizenship Clause. Section 1, all persons born and naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. That's like anchor baby stuff, right? The ex-LGBT files. You the man, hey, that's what's up. Who created a standard form? I don't know what that means. There's no conspiracies. Conspiracies come from what thought other people's thoughts can't think of thoughts. That's where there's conspiracies of their thoughts. Yes, exactly. Um, Comments. Everyone agrees that the Citizenship Clause was designed to reverse the Supreme Court's decision in Dred Scott v. Stanford in 1857, which had held in the teeth of contrary evidence that no African American could ever be a citizen of the United States. Uh-oh. You got to ratify that real quick. On the other hand, we're not sure of the full definition of subject to jurisdiction of the United States. We know this phrase excludes from citizenship the children of foreign diplomats born in this country because a diplomat in a foreign land remains subject to the jurisdiction of his own country. So you can't be if you're a diplomat, you can't drop an anchor baby in America. We also know, so we're learning something new every day. We also know the children of American Indians owing allegiance only to their tribes were not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, even if born in the U.S. territories. Oh, that's like the sovereign citizen. I'm a Native American. I need my I need my reservation. But controversy remains over whether the children of God, children of a non. Why did I see children of God? Whether the child of a non-citizen illegal in this country is born subject to the jurisdiction. I want to focus more on section 3. See, this is all about section 1. Yeah, I don't want this article. This is just telling me all about section 1 and the naturalization thing and the dang anchor babies. I'm trying to learn about the dang section 3 and the 5th Amendment, due process. 14th Amendment contains a number of important concepts, most famously state action, privileges, and immunities, citizenship, due process, and equal protection, all of which are contained in Section 1. However, the 14th Amendment contains 4 other sections. Section 2 deals with the apportionment of representatives to Congress. Apportionment. Section 3 forbids anyone who participates in insurrection or rebellion against the United States from holding federal office. Section 4 addresses federal debt and repudiates debts accrued by the Confederacy. Section 5 expressly authorizes Congress to enforce the 14th Amendment by appropriate legislation. The states ratified the 14th Amendment in 1868 in the immediate aftermath of the American Civil War, along with other Reconstruction amendments, the 13th and the 15th. Citizenship, naturalization clause. Yep. 14th Amendment guaranteed everyone born and naturalized, Native Americans, Chinese. They're Chinese. State action is in there. State action clause of the 14th Amendment declares that a state cannot make or enforce any law that abridges the privileges or immunities of any citizen. So what does that even mean? I'm not an expert. But we got a .edu. We had a .org. We had some .coms. This is related. Former aide warns of running out of time to prevent Trump re-election. Sarah Matthews, Cassidy Hutchinson, and Alyssa Farah Griffin insist Trump's behavior would be worse if he wins a second term. Uh-oh. Guardians keeping us guarded. This will be the last article. This will be the last article on this topic. I think we get it. Right? They're after the boy. They're after old Trump. The re-election of Donald Trump in 2024 could end American democracy as we know it. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. The end of American democracy as we know it. Let's freaking go. according to 3 women who worked for him in the White House during his chaotic term in office. All 3 gave testimony to the U.S. House Committee investigating Trump's efforts to overturn his 2020 election defeat, as well as the January 6th Capitol attack staged by his supporters. And they warned in an unprecedented television interview on Sunday that time was short to prevent a second Trump administration, in which they insist his behavior would be much worse. People in general have short memories and might forget the chaos of the Trump years. That's true. She's right about that. Sarah Matthews, a former deputy White House press secretary who resigned on the day of the deadly Capitol riot, said on ABC this week. They also might not just be paying attention to what he's saying now and the threat to democracy that exists. It does really concern me if he makes it to the general election that he could win. I'm still hoping we can defeat him in the primaries, but we're running out of time. Matthews was joined in the interview by former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson, a key witness against Trump, this lady, during the House Committee's public hearings in 2022, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, his former communications director, traitor, who said she dreaded him returning to office. Fundamentally, a second Trump term could mean the end of American democracy as we know it, and I don't say that lightly. That's Kathy Griffin. I don't know what this Alyssa Griffin. Her name's Alyssa. That's dangerous. You got to be careful with them Alyssas, Trump. We all witnessed him trying to steal a Democratic election before and go into historic and unconstitutional lengths to do so. That just shows he's willing to basically break every barrier to get into power and to stay into power. Dun, dun, dun. Well, so what do you guys think? You think he's gonna make it onto the ballot? You know? And on the January 6th stuff, we'll pregame for this Destiny Alex Jones debate. I got it pulled up here. I don't know who Glenn Greenwald is, but what do you guys think? The ex-LGBTQ files. Let's go. But hit the like button, guys. Oh, let me turn the Cash App thing on. Hey, we're trying to raise money for the LA trip at the end of the month. So send money. Send me money to the Cash App. LA trip. We're going to LA. We're going to see Freddie. I'm going to play in a nationals tournament, national level, meaning I'm a freaking top dog, national level player tournament for a children's card game. But I could win a lot of money, and we need some money so I can buy Freddie and Zeke some dinner, because he ain't gonna let me eat his food. I'm gonna have to buy groceries. So let's see. We gotta raise some money for the trip. And I'm gonna make videos. And we're gonna do a stream from Cali. We'll do streams. We'll do videos. I'll do the tournament. Hopefully, I can win some money. Should be nice. I haven't went on a trip out of the state since my dad passed away, I guess. Yeah, and that was like 2 years ago or something. And I'm a nomad. I want to travel. I get kind of stir crazy when I'm doing the same thing for too long. So I submitted payment yesterday. Did you get it? It was $60. On what? Oh man. There, Dave. I was joking, but I was like yelling at you yesterday. I was like, how you gonna say you sending money, but then you don't send no money? But I was just joking. I don't expect anybody to send no money. What'd you send it on? Venmo, Cash App? I don't think I got it. I don't think I got it. Name. He won't even feed you a single meal. Probably. I don't know, man. I don't know. He might. I don't see it, name. I didn't get it. Maybe you send it to hopefully you didn't send it to like the dreaded, I don't know. What's something that sounds like conservative? Yeah, I don't think trying to refresh. No. I didn't get it. Anyway. So yeah, hit the like button though, guys. Tell a friend. Let's look at what this debate should be interesting. Destiny's on Adderall like hardcore now, so and there's not a woman in his life, so he's got a lot of time on his hands. And he's doing some deep January 6th research, and he might be having his eyes open. He's got a based mom and a based dad. He was raised in a good family. He's a smart guy. You know, we got to bring him to the right. And I think if anybody can do it, Alex Jones can do it. So it's Alex Jones, Destiny, and Glenn Greenwald. Who's Glenn Greenwald? This is Glenn Greenwald. I spoke to Pierce Morgan about the decision of Elon Musk to restore Alex Jones' account.
Free speech, and let's just lay that on the table. I call this show
Which one is Glenn Greenwald? This guy? Pierce has done a great job airing all the views lately, but this is the second straight time I ended up on a panel with a deranged person who couldn't control herself from ranting. This is about Alex Jones being back on Twitter. So this is Glenn Greenwald. I think this is what's the guy with the dog? Not Sargon. The British guy that got banned for doing his dog did the dang Count Dankula. Is that Count Dankula? No, that's not Count Dankula. In the smaller screen, it looked like him. Let's see what these guys are talking about. This has nothing to do with the Destiny debate, but this is Glenn Greenwald. I don't know a lot about him.
Sensitive because I wanted to celebrate free speech, but I've always been aware there are limitations. And under the First Amendment, which is one of the greatest protectors of free speech anywhere in the world, defamation is not protected under the First Amendment. And this was.
I have text messages from 2019 from hardcore Democrats. And they hate Trump. Text messages from hardcore Democrats and they hate Trump. Yeah. Yeah, Democrats have always hated it.
Clearly one of the most serious defamations of a
Cashapp?
body of people
No, I didn't get a Cashapp.
America has ever seen. So I don't understand why, just for that reason alone, why Elon Musk has performed this U-turn with Alex Jones.
I think the issue, Piers, is what they do on the platform. We have all kinds of terrible people using social media. We have people who lied the United States into.
I'm just watching this to find out who Glenn Greenwald is. I've heard his name before, but I've never really watched him. Pulitzer Prize winning journalist.
To a devastating war in Iraq, including the current president of the United States. We have people who defame all the time, like the guest I just heard in my ear tried implying, though she wasn't courageous enough to say who she meant, that one of the people on this panel is somehow promoted by. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm hearing a voice in my ear because I'm not actually done talking yet. So the standard, Piers, that Elon Musk enunciated when he first bought Twitter is one that I supported, even though he hasn't always adhered to it, which is as long as people are using that platform in ways that the law allows speech to persist, to be able to be expressed, then everybody should be able to be heard. What they do outside.
Okay, we're not going to watch all of this. I just want to see who he was. This is his Twitter page, Glenn Greenwald. So it's him. I'm not sure what side he's on. Journalist, System Update, co-founder of The Intercept, Freedom of Press, followed by Libs of TikTok, Hake, 26 others you follow. Huh. Glenn Greenwald. Interesting. So him and Destiny and Alex Jones. Let's see what Destiny's Reddit's talking about. January 6th is definitely my favorite topic to debate, and I've come across some arguments that I think are worth investigating. If you are reading this, Destiny, you should make a timeline of events, which I believe started 9 months prior to the election, when Trump started spreading doubt of the validity of mail-in voting. It will help a lot. Arguments. That Pelosi had handpicked rhinos and Democrats for the January 6th committee in order to not give Trump any representatives that support him. The example they will use to support this claim is the fact that Jim Jordan was denied a seat on the committee. We later found out that Jordan was under investigation by that committee for his involvement in the pardons Trump promised to his supporters, who he asked to break election laws. Could you imagine how bad it would be that a sitting member of a committee is being investigated by said committee? That being said, in retrospect, I found it very. This is Reddit mess. I just want to read their points because they're giving Destiny his arguments. Another thing they will say is to dismiss Cassidy's, the White House aide to chief of staff testimony that we just talked about her a little bit ago, claiming it is all hearsay and not admissible. This is nonsense because it wasn't a trial and no one came out to testify under oath to challenge her testimony. A good question to ask is, why didn't Trump testify against Cassidy? Because he could plead the fifth on any question he didn't want to answer. I don't know why they say that only Ashley died that day when there was another protester who was crushed outside that tunnel by her fellow protesters. That might come up. Yes, her name is Roseanne Boyland. She was not crushed by her fellow protesters. She was getting squished, and she was overweight, and she was kind of getting pushed through the crowd, and she was exhausted. So they helped her get to the front of the line, and they were trying to get her to help to the officers to get her medical attention. And the black woman officer who got a medal proceeded to beat her with a stick, and then they dragged her back into the tunnel, and she died. And then they said she died from a drug overdose. Then they said she died from asphyxiation from the crowd. Then the video comes out, and then they shut that shit down real quick when there was a video of a black woman officer beating her repeatedly with a stick. Yeah. I wonder if Alex or Destiny will bring up Roseanne Boyland. And it's funny how this person writing this letter to Destiny, like, oh, I love debating January 6th, but you don't even know the chick's name? Why wouldn't you tell Destiny the chick's name? Help him out. Give him the name. Make sure he fully understands that after all of the BLM riots, 2 black officers killed 2 unarmed white women. And nobody said anything about nobody cares. It doesn't matter. But then we had an insurrection. Wouldn't that alone be worthy of an insurrection? Didn't BLM run up in the dang Capitol building too? And I know feminists have done it. Now with the they're doing insurrections because of Israel. The Support Palestine people are running up in there. So all these people are dang insurrectionists now. And this guy who's giving Destiny arguments doesn't even know the name of the woman that he's talking about. Another claim is that Pelosi knew January 6th would be happening because she had a documentary filming team already on her that day, which I do believe is just a coincidence. Is it a coincidence? It's a nice coincidence that Pelosi's filming a movie. And what about AOC saying she was getting attacked and stuff when really she was like buildings away? They got tunnels and stuff, secret tunnels. They were fine. For the January 6th was a guided tour argument. I think the best defeater of that is the timeline of that day. Remember, all the clips of people being escorted or the police just standing around happened after the windows were breached. Combined with Destiny's arguments about proper police protocol in the event of violent protests is easily explained. Right. He's going to argue that in that situation, you're supposed to open the doors and you're supposed to make a path and you're supposed to do crowd control and let the path. And they'll say that's why they were waving them through and they had the doors open, is because people were going to get crushed. And people were breaking windows, and they're like, it's better just to open it and let them flow through to the other side. And that will be the rebuttal to the guided tour argument. You have to look into Epps because the claims made about him are insane. Don't let them tell you he incited anyone or that he is a Fed, because there is no evidence. There's plenty of evidence. Destiny watched it all live on his stream. There is evidence of him saying, go into the... Destiny watched the 60 Minutes interview with Ray Epps. Crazy that... And here's the thing. Even if he wasn't a Fed, as much of the things that he did that day, and he didn't end up in jail, while some of these other guys are getting 20 years, who never were in the building, who weren't even at the Capitol that day because of some messages they wrote on the internet, they're getting 10, 20 years in prison. Meanwhile, Ray Epps is there actively saying, let's go into the Capitol. In multiple videos, Destiny watched it on his stream. Destiny watched the interview on his stream, so he's seen this. And I think he was even agreeing by the end that Ray Epps was kind of like a Fed, looked kind of like a Fed. But even if he's not a Fed, why wasn't he punished like some of these other guys were punished when there's so much video evidence of him? It's crazy. There's no evidence. There's evidence of him saying go into the Capitol that night before he was called to the Fed by the crowd. Why would the FBI resend a Fed to January 6th who was already exposed? Also, because they're stupid. Also, according to Epps' lawyer, he's expecting charges to be levied against him, although I'm not aware what those charges are. Why would the FBI charge a Fed and risk evidence of their cover-up being exposed in court? Didn't he already get? So they're saying there's like a pending charge. I'm pretty sure he did an interview on 60 Minutes. Like, yeah, so maybe he wasn't a Fed, but still, he might have worked with the Feds afterwards or something to somehow, because he should be in prison. They will try to claim that due to the FBI unwillingness to answer if FBI agents were at the Capitol on January 6th undercover while they are being questioned by Republicans under oath. Remember, the FBI doesn't want to expose their undercover assets. Them not answering that question is not evidence that the FBI orchestrated January 6th. No, it's just evidence that they had undercover people working at January 6th. This is all I can think of right now, blah, blah, blah. So this is just Destiny's Reddit. Redditors are not the best people. They're not good people. They're not good people over there on Reddit. I've heard they're some of the worst people. Been cleaning and doing laundry and lurking. Nice. So yeah, we were watching some of the stream, but conservatives prep Destiny for Alex Jones insurrection. Right. For like the past week, he's been doing January 6th, and all the Rob Noor debated him. All these conservatives are like getting him prepared for Alex Jones. And Alex Jones, like, really the better debates are the ones in the lead up on Destiny's stream to the thing, because these guys are like smart guys and stuff. But Alex Jones, I don't think it's gonna go the way Destiny thinks. I think it's gonna. A lot of people are saying it's gonna be a meme debate. Alex Jones is just gonna be like, "Oh, Destiny, don't you understand? They were sending federal agents into the Capitol that day. Destiny." It should be interesting, though. I think it's going to be a good debate. I'm pretty hyped for it. Conservatives prep Destiny for Alex Jones debate. Uh-oh.
Experience China.
No, I don't want to experience no China. China. What is this? I don't know what this is, guys. Hold on. Yeah, we're not going to watch that. All right, enough about that. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the main news. We got other news. We got other news. And we got memes. And we got reels. And we got rapid fire news. All that coming up. Destiny is through a divorce right now. He will be angry in that debate. Nah, I don't think so. I think he's going to be Adderalled out. He's going to be wide awake and he's going to be on point. I don't think he's that concerned with the divorce stuff. That's something women are thinking about. Floor. Hola. Hola, hermanita. Hermanita. Okay. Let's look at some memes. Where are the memes at? Man, I was cracking up at some of these memes today. I hope they make me laugh the second time. I wish somebody else could compile the memes for me and like get them into this folder. That way I'm seeing them all the first time. But I digress. Because I forget which one of these cracked me up. Some of these were funny. Like, I was actually laughing. Okay. Let's go. It's time for the memes. All right. First, free cheese pizza on your birthday. Nice. Pizza place closed on Christmas. Oh, poor Jesus. Dang, Jesus can never get the free pizza on your birthday deal. He can't get free anything on your birthday deal because everything's closed on Christmas. Dang. Jesus. Next. What the? That is a man.
Man, baby.
There's a man, baby. That's Jesus. All right, next. Sean King. Remember this guy? This is the white guy that was one of the leaders of Black Lives Matter. He posted on Instagram to Gregory and Travis McMichaels. Those are the guys that shot Ahmaud Arbery. I need you to know that I know where you live and where you are hiding out. Right now, I'm the only thing keeping about 150 people from killing you. To the state of Georgia, hold these men accountable for lynching Ahmaud Arbery. I assure you it's in your best interest. I don't know why this is in here. I just saw it and thought it was interesting. Did he post this? Aren't they in jail? Didn't they get sentenced to like 22 years each? 20 years or something like that? Aren't they in jail? Maybe this came out before they went to jail and nothing was done about it. Just an interesting little picture there. Me after posting a few controversial memes on social media daily and nothing else. It ain't much, but it's an honest work.
It's a man, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Jesus. I haven't bought anything from Amazon all year. If you do, make sure you use my affiliate link. That way we could take some of that Bezos money. Next meme. Watching the season 4 premiere of Build Back Better. Oh, it looks like a dumpster fire. It looks like a dumpster fire. Oh, Build Back Better. It's a dumpster fire. Next. Just put the tip in. See how it feels. Whoa. Whoa. Do not just put the tip in and see how it feels at that restaurant. You will go to jail. You will go to jail for that. All right. Next. Disney teaches us to hate stepmothers. Cornhub takes a completely different approach. Yeah, that's Cornhub for you. Stepmom love. Next, I'm glad it's banned in Utah. Corporate America Jesus. Yeah, if you could go ahead and buy as much crap as you can for my birthday, that'd be great. Where'd my sound effects go? Uh-oh, hold up. There we go. Sound effect. Okay, we got it. Nice tip jar. But local Chinese good. We got a lot of memes today. I gotta go quick. Next, best cable holder. Look at that cable holder. I want that thing, except I want my face on it. You could put my face on that cable holder, and that would be epic. That would be an epic cable holder. Who's buying that cable holder? Nobody. Okay, next. Trash pickup, November 9th, 2016. Hey, look at this Trump and Hillary and Obama. Hillary and Obama in the dumpster.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
And then Trump's just in there. Yep, we got him. We're taking out the trash. Obama, you're a beta.
Beta.
Michelle, your husband.
It's a man, baby.
And Clinton murdered a guy.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Next. Positive. Damn, I hope you feel better. Quarantine. Are you stupid? It's not a dang COVID test. It's a pregnancy test. What the heck? What the heck? She pregnant, my boy. Next. How many degrees should I set the wash to? What does it say on the t-shirt? Pink Floyd. Dad joke. Stupid man don't know how to work laundry machine. Oh, stupid man, laundry. How we do laundry. Next. Redneck minefield. That is so true. That is so true. That is so true. If you're walking through that thing, you better watch out. You're going to hit your knee on it. You're going to be walking around. And you're going to hit your knee. And go, ah! Okay. Next. I hate trailer hitches on the shin. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Wow. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Yay. Fireplace? What's this? Oh, a fireplace. Chestnuts roasting. Christmas is over. My shin hurts just looking at that. Yeah. So true. All right. Next meme. Is the fire going to stop? Or is it a loop? Oh, it's a loop. Bro, we could do fireside memes the whole time. Next meme. Next meme in the firelight. The one thing the establishment truly fears, AI killing it. What the heck? What would Trump and AOC's baby be called? Old Don Jr. Ocasio Cortez Trump. AI killing it with this one. This is wrong. The one thing the establishment truly fears. Trump leaves Ivanka and he hooks up with AOC with the big booty Latina. Put a little stuffing in that muffin. Pot. I mean, put a baby in that muffin? Yeah, that is gross. Okay, next. The 80s. Many memories, no digital evidence. So true. How do we know that the 80s even happened? Right? How do we know anything actually happened before we were born? How do we even really know that yesterday happened? We have evidence, we have videos. But what if the videos are just part of the simulation? We don't even know that the 80s were even real. They might not have even happened. Next. Chicago-style gingerbread house. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yo. Mr. Mad, is that your gingerbread house? Did Mr. Mad make that gingerbread house? Dang. You don't want to get stuck in there at night. You're going to be walking around and you're going to hear somebody breathing on your neck. And then they're going to grab you. Okay. Next. If you were mine, I'd buy you wings. We have a bunch of miss numbers or wrong number text, funny ones that are pretty good. If you were mine, I'd buy you wings every day with a picture of the. Ooh, those are some good looking wings. And waffle fries. If you were mine, I'd buy you wings every day. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong number. Hold on, let's talk. Where are you going? Whoa. Whoa. Slow down. You did. This is the right number. You dialed the right number. You found the right number. God sent you to me. You bringing me wings every day? Holy cow. That sounds awesome. Next. Give homeless people counterfeit money. They'll go to prison and no longer be homeless. Dang. That's horrible. Don't do that, people. That is not nice to do to the homeless people. Boneless wing. No, there's no such thing as boneless wings, Floor. I would text you. I would have been like, yeah, wrong number. I would have been like, yeah, wrong number. And also, there's no such thing as a boneless wing. This is not even a real thing. Beta wings. Those are beta wings. Those are beta wings.
Beta!
Yep. Those are like some Chinese beta wings.
Beta!
Chinese beta wings. Ain't nobody eating boneless wings. Next. Did Costco founder, fact check, did Costco founder say, I will kill you to CEO who wanted to raise the price of the hot dogs? The cost of a $1.50 hot dog and soda combo has not changed since 1985 at Costco. And we have the biggest Costco in America until the California one gets built that they're working on in like Reddington or Redville or Riverside, somewhere. But currently, Salt Lake City has the biggest Costco. And yeah, they got $1.50, giant $1.50 hot dogs. Ooh, it's a deal. And they lose a lot of money on that. The founder of Costco told, fact check, true. The founder of Costco told a CEO who wanted to raise the prices on Costco's hot dogs, if you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out. Yo. Dang. That's what that guy's saying. Wait till I get my money right. He got that go to war money.
It's a man, baby.
Yeah, he will kill you if you try to raise the hot dog price. Next. This one. Conjoined twins Abby and Brittany look unrecognizable now. Somebody in the comments said, unrecognizable? How many people with two heads do you know? Yo. Nice. Yo, I think Abby and Brittany have OnlyFans now. And I might have seen the leaked footage just for research purposes because there were some questions that I had to get answered. And my questions were thoroughly answered. Abby and Brittany. If you're looking for a woman with the same amount of woman, but double the voice, get with Abby and Brittany. Double the talking, same amount of everything else. Get with Abby. Sounds like a horrible deal to me, honestly. Next. Oh no. Is he a youth medium? Another wrong text. Is he a youth medium? Like a child psychic? No. No, the t-shirt size. T-shirt size. Oh, get it? Is he a youth medium? Like a child psychic? No. That's a good one. That's a good, and I like that. Next. Kurt Cobain's guitar and sweater auctioned for over $6 million. Real Nirvana fans, how much for the gun? How much for the gun? Unfortunately, that's not for sale, and if it was, it would be out of your price range. Okay. Next. Oh, I got the same one twice. Okay. The best illegal alien we ever had. E.T. The best illegal alien we ever had. He learned English and then he went home. What a great... E.T. was the best illegal alien we've ever had. E.T. phone home. E.T. phone... That movie creeped me out when I was a kid. I did not like that movie. I don't know if I've ever watched E.T. from beginning to end. I don't like it that much. It was just weird. It had a weird ambiance, you know? E.T. Maybe I have watched it when I was a kid. Anyway, next. This too shall pass. It might pass like a kidney stone, but it will pass. Oh, no. Don't start talking to me about kidney stones. I'm getting old. I worry about that. Next. Fixing a boo-boo as a kid. Fixing a boo-boo as an adult. Band-Aid versus nachos and alcohol. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Cash register time. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. I hated E.T. So creepy. Yeah, it was weird. E.T. creeped me out as a kid, too. See, everybody agrees. Weird movie. Overrated. Not that great, Steven Spielberg. Indiana Jones was great. Star Wars. Or no, that's George Lucas. But Indiana Jones, great. E.T., not that much. Overrated. Overrated. Wasn't that good of a movie. Was kind of weird. Kind of creepy. That little alien looked like a turd. He looked like he looked like a fat bastard. I've had bigger corns in my crap than you, E.T. You look like one of my turds. E.T. looks like when fat bastard has a turtle head poking out. Okay, no, let's move on. Oh, the nachos going up. Yeah, E.T. weird, man. He was, yeah, he's just weird. He's like, making that weird noise. When he would scream, it freaked me out. He went, Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. How do you know the Middle East is going to escalate? Stocks are going up on Lockheed Martin, General Dynamic Corp, L.E. Harris Technologies, Northrop Grumman Corp. I was actually watching a stock video, about how there are wartime stock watchers, or basically like people who know the market, but they specialize in wartime. They know what to buy. Like wars are coming. All these things are about to go up. Buy into these are weapons manufacturers and like stuff like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, and seems to be pretty profitable. Kind of probably why a lot of politicians and stuff are warmongers, because people get rich during wars. We don't. The people fighting the wars don't, but the elites do. Anyway, next. Room is completely engulfed in flames. You can only save one. I don't know who this person thing is. That's Dylan Mulvaney. There's Leah Thompson. And then who's this guy on the bottom right? Wait, we can only save one? Oh, guys, I don't want to get banned. But let's just say you can only save one. I'm just going to say it's a tough choice. It's a tough decision, guys. It's really a tough one. Which one are we going to pick? Next. Okay. What the heck is that? That's AI fat. What is the AI doing? AI memes are great. They're like, nothing needs to be said. Just a picture. They might have extra fingers. His clothes kind of morph into their body. I don't know what this is, but it's kind of funny. Speaking of Walmart, I might look at this. Walmart has 3 M's. I don't know what this is. Anyway, next. I have no sound effect for that. Michelle is probably thinking about someone else. My my balls itch. Hey. Hey, Barack, my balls itch. Damn.
It's a man, baby.
Michelle is probably thinking about someone else.
Beta.
That's Obama. Obama?
Beta.
Oh, Big Mike, my balls itch, Barack.
It's a man, baby.
Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah.
Okay. Next. This this one had me laughing. It's not as funny the second time, and I don't want to do a totally fake laugh. But this one had me dying. Man shares picture before and after liver transplant. Him and his daughter. He's kind of jaundiced in this picture. This picture. Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible, stubborn one. Dang. Oh, God. Next! I have nothing to say. Just curious, how many countries tax their citizens so they can send money to the United States, Charlie? Well, Mr. Wonk, how many citizens, just curious, how many countries tax their citizens so they can send money to the United States? The answer is 0. The answer is 0, Charlie. Next, investigated with no evidence. Trump investigated with no evidence. Joe Biden investigated with no evidence, man. We're investigating. We have evidence, but no investigation, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Next, turns out that an at-home DNA test does not make a good baby shower gift. Don't get her. You call mama a dang hoe. She's gonna kick you out of her house. Oh no. Next, don't get the mom a DNA test. Don't think it's gonna happen. Me waiting for the Republicans to do anything meaningful about the destruction of our country. Yep, sounds about right. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. You're gonna look like this guy. Looking like a skeleton tweaker peeking out the windows. Next! One of the biggest welding projects I've ever done in my exhaust shop. Can't wait to put it to use. Killdozer! Killdozer! Da-da-da-da. Oh, it's Killdozer time, baby.
It's a man, baby.
Everybody get your Killdozers. Next! This one is... Oh, no. It was the jaundice one and this one that made me laugh the hardest. Hold on. I gotta make sure I can read this. Tired of being fat and ugly? Just be ugly. 24-hour fitness. So good. Tired of being fat and ugly? Just be ugly. 24-hour fitness. You can fix your fat, but you can't fix the ugly part. Check the weather, and it's getting real oppy outside. Oppy? There's ops. There's ops everywhere. There's ops outside. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. Next. Why are you so good to me, Forrest? I'm mentally handicapped and you're pretty, Jenny. Jenny, I'm mentally handicapped and you're pretty. Me and you go together like peas and carrots. Jenny taught me how to swing, and I taught her how to dangle. We went together like peas and carrots. Then she came back and she had HIV. I don't know what that is. I am a good man, Jenny. I love you, Jenny. Forrest, Forrest, I've got HIV, and you have a son. Remember that time I took your virginity? Yes, and I made a mess on your roommate's blanket. Yeah, Forrest. Well, you made a baby. You made a baby while I was running around being a dang liberal, hippie, tree hugging, dang hooker, black nationalist mess, destroying my life, getting ran through by everybody, Forrest. You were the only one that made a baby, and I have HIV, Forrest. Well, Jenny, I like what's his name, Jenny? His name is Forrest, Forrest, just like you, Forrest. Wow, he has my same name, Jenny. Lieutenant Dan bought me into a fruit company, so I never have to worry about money again. Where's Jalen at? Next. Forrest Gump. I love it. Merry Christmas, America. Look, this is Merry Christmas, America, and this is Happy Holidays. Just remember, this is what is destroying our country. Is this right here, the Happy Holidays, people. Okay. Next. Russian roulette, you got one bullet in the chamber. American roulette, you got 3 Democrat bullets and 3 Republican bullets. Dang. Who wants to play American roulette? Nobody. Nobody. Forrest, the OG simp. Forrest was retarded. He couldn't help it. He was a good man. He loved her. That was his, like, it's not his fault. He was mentally ill, mentally handicapped, and she was a dang whore and took advantage of him. Don't ever blaspheme Forrest like that. Forrest wasn't a simp. He was, well, he was kind of a white knight when she was dang hoeing up on that stage naked. How many roads must a man walk by? Forrest! Forrest came up there because that guy was trying to touch on Jenny, and Forrest doesn't like that. He was a white knight. I don't know if you can call a retarded person a simp. Like, he really loved her. Lieutenant Diane, I got you some ice cream. Lieutenant Diane, ice cream. Okay, next. How many more freaking memes do we have? I made a Santa do-rag. Dashing through these hoes. I made a Santa do-rag. Okay, Christmas is over. Christmas is over. Next. The Democrats are smoking crack in the White House, stealing luggage from airports, stealing luggages, luggages, smoking crack in the White House, stealing luggages from airports, shooting porn and having sex in the Senate hearing room. But Trump's tweets are mean. Trump's tweets are mean. Watch out for a dangerous Trump tweet. What's up, bro? Rome 13. What up, bro? Find out how to save on your taxes with this one easy trick. Tar and feather the tyrants. Hey! Sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a great idea. Next. No, that's it for the memes. Happy 2024, everybody. That's all the memes. Okay. I was supposed to be back on Macon. Here. We're back here. We're back. We're bringing it back. Y'all want to see my the phone's not plugged in. The keyboard's plugged in. Let me see something. See if I can show you this. Show you some of the prosperity soup I made today. That's what I call it. Prosperity goulash. Anyway, the video will be coming out shortly, tomorrow or the next day. You guys see that? So it's black eyed peas, collard greens, sausage, uh, jalapenos, celery, onions, and then cornbread. I like to put the bowl of the soup. There's a ham hock in there. There's bacon. There's ham. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Just a preview of the video. The video will be coming out soon, but my New Year's prosperity soups: collard greens for money, black eyed peas for luck. And then I like to make a bowl of it and then get one dry piece of cornbread on the side, and then one piece of cornbread that you put on top of the soup, and you kind of crush up a little bit into the goulash, and then you put some of the liquid over the top, pour it over the top of that cornbread, and the cornbread will like soak into the goulash. Ooh, it's so good. My cornbread came out a little underdone. That was the only complaint I had about the meal, as I underdid the cornbread a little bit. So when I pulled it out, it looked done, and it was getting golden brown, and then it went. It, it went. It kind of deflated, and then I threw it back in the oven, and I couldn't save it. But it was still good. Tasted like cornbread. It was just a little mushy. But that video will be coming out soon. All right, memes are done. We got a lot of we're gonna honor the less fortunate in our reels this week. We have a lot of I don't know why these popped up on my feed like back to back, but it was a bunch of like funny handicapped people. It's a bunch of funny handicapped people as the reels this week from Instagram. We're going to Instagram. Not all of them. This first reel, we're doing Instagrams this week. So not reels, but this first one's pretty cool. This is a man right here. There's a man, baby. Look at this guy just No, not a beta. This one.
It's a man, baby.
Look at this guy just making these inventions. I don't know about the music. I don't think the music's cool, but you break your beer cap off. Look, he's got a train around his yard. And he just makes all this stuff. And then I don't know if he sells it. Look at that. It's a beer with a cup and it twists. Icebox. Beer loading icebox. Rapid action. Look at that. He's got all these different flavored beers on his thing. Little carry cart. That's cool. This guy's an alpha. Look at that. This last one's cool. The football. He's got the hose sprayer with the beer attachment. He's got the dog ball launcher. Little handy the beer rake attachment. That's cool. Use the football, you knock down the guys, and you pull it back up. Pretty neat. That guy's based. Woodworking, craftsman. Will be a forgotten craft soon. I have 4 fingers. Okay, no, you don't. You have 5 fingers. It just looked like you have 4 because of your tattoos on your hand. I have 4 fingers. Oh, yeah, this person really has 4 fingers. This person has 3 fingers. This person has 2 fingers. It's a picture. What the? It's a flamingo. Wait, what? No, you have 5 fingers. You have 4 fingers. 3? 2? What the heck? Oh, God. He's clapping. I don't know why all these were coming up on my feed, but they are funny. There's more. They're going to freeze on me. I think I played this one before. Oh, it's chopping up. It's choppy. That's not good. Another midget one? These aren't working. Computers. Okay. These aren't working very good. The computer's freezing up. I think I played this one before. We'll just play this last one. Okay, this is funny. this he went up to the 360 booth. He went up to the 360 booth and it turned out better than he expected. It's a little guy doing a 360 camera booth. Let's see the footage. This epic camera footage.
I am lost.
Oh, poor little guy. We love the little people. We love the little people. All right, enough of all that stuff. Let's get back to some news here in a second. What's chat talking about? I had 2 completely torn rotator cuffs back in 2018. Not fun, but you learn really fast. Forrest Gump, I want your cornbread. You gonna eat your cornbread? Oh yeah, the cornbread was delicious. No, I ate all of my cornbread. I guess Utah, they're stealing my idea. Utah stealing my idea. We talked about this last week. The homeless problem is crazy in Salt Lake City, so I kind of keep y'all updated on the local news. We'll start with a little local news from the Salt Lake Tribune. I touched on this last week, but we were doing the Christmas stuff, so didn't talk about it too much. Utah has an eye on a location for a permanent homeless camp. Here's where. So this might be different than the actually. Where is this? It's going to be an outdoor camp. All of those residents who have settled into their new digs at the temporary legal homeless camp in Salt Lake City will need to pack up and head out by the end of April. But they won't have to have far to go. But they won't have far to go if Utah's homeless czar gets his way. Homelessness czar. State homelessness coordinator Wayne Niederhauser revealed this week that he wants to open a long-planned, more permanent legal camp on Utah Department of Transportation land west of 700 West. Nestled between freeway ramps at 500 South and Salt Lake City. Okay. I know where this is. Huh. That's close to me. That's not very far away. Which is no bueno. Those surroundings may be familiar to those who live on the streets. The site beneath freeway viaducts often hosts makeshift homeless camps. The camp, which would house individuals in the miniature shelf. So last week I talked about this place, Utah's. This was like the first time they're doing these little pod homes. A lot of cities are starting to do this stuff now, like these little pod houses. But it was only a temporary thing. It was 3 months for the winter. They're just testing it out. But now this is going to be more maybe a open ground camp, which is more like the idea that I think would work better. If I ever had like a nonprofit, this is what you would want to do: is buy a chunk of land right outside of the city and put water and power hookups, and then you have to have a system of like work and get them working to stay there and blah blah blah. A merit program. The camp, which would house individuals in the miniature shelters used at the temporary site operating at 300 South and 600 West, would aim to serve those who have resisted traditional shelters because they felt unsafe. They are unsafe. Dang, shelter's more dangerous than prison. Not that they weren't safe, Niederhauser said. It's just that when you're feeling high anxiety, sometimes being in a room with a lot of people might trigger some things. Yeah, they go crazy. I seen a dude just wake up in the middle of the night and stab the guy next to him one time. True story. He just woke up, looked at the guy next to him, grabbed a knife out of under his bed, and stabbed the dude next to him who was asleep. And it was a total just manic freak out. There's no reason behind it that we know of, that I know of. Maybe there was something, but he didn't choose that bed. Like, he didn't go there because he had some grudge against the guy, so he picked that bed. You don't pick the beds. They assign you the beds. So it was just whoever happened to be sleeping next to that crazy dude that night got stabbed up in the chest. Yeah, because they slept in the shelter. He'll need the legislation's blessing to do it. Niederhauser said the governor's proposed budget includes requests for one-time funding to build more permanent facilities, such as toilets at the site. He's also requesting ongoing funding to pay for long-term operation of the camp. The price tag Niederhauser pegs at $2 million to $3 million a year. Damn, that's a lot of money. The overhead is so low on something like this. Like, really, you're making a one-time payment to run gas and electric hookups. Let them stay in their own tents on the property, and the overhead. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. And a lot of these, what I've been reading about is a lot of these homeless organizations, these nonprofit help the homeless groups. What they'll do is they'll start up their little organization. They'll get donations. They'll go to a place where you can get a bunch of different donations, and then they'll hand it out and they'll promote their thing, and they'll make a request and they'll take it to the city council and they'll request, and then they'll get a big grant. They'll get a $500,000 grant to say, put this towards your org. And then they are still just taking donated food and handing it out. There's been one guy said he was going to buy a vehicle um, to give out food or something, and then he never bought a new vehicle. He just kept using the same vehicle. So he requests money from the government to get a new vehicle to hand out food to the homeless people. They give him the money, but he didn't buy a new vehicle. He just kept using the one he already had. And so they're just taking this money and running with it. Their organization, the overhead, the cost for this is so low, but they're taking $3 million a year. Now it depends on what they're putting on the grounds, but they're not building a structure. It's just going to be an outdoor homeless camp. How expensive is that to run? $3 million a year? Somebody's going to get rich, and they're not going to do much to help, is what I think. Ray's Boom Boom Room. I Want Your Cornbread is from a movie with Eddie Murphy. Life, good flick. Yep. I love those goofy little bastards. uh, Ain't nothing but a thang and a chicken wang. So they're doing the pods currently, but they're going to be switching to a more permanent open air one, it looks like. So I'm just keeping my eye on this. It's going to be interesting. This place is real close to where I live. So there you go. But that's what you got to do. I mean, I think that's the best way to help the homeless situation. The shelters are horrible. You need an open air. They're going to be intense anyway. So you just buy a chunk of land, put a church there, find them jobs and resources. Say you have to work if you're going to live here. That's the biggest problem with like social net, safety nets, and social programs and communism and all this stuff, is that it encourages you not to work, because if you work, you don't get the benefits. Why do I want to work a job and work hard when I could just get free money from the government, but I have to convince them that I'm crazy, or I have to convince them that I'm not able to work. I'm hurt, my body hurts, or I'm crazy, or whatever excuse you make up, and you just cry about it to a psychologist or a doctor long enough that they give you write their name on a piece of paper, and now the government's going to hand you a bunch of money from taxpayers because you didn't feel like working, and it's easier just to take the handout. And then if you get a job, then you lose those handouts, you lose those benefits. You lose your food stamps, you lose your housing. Now you got to work. So instead, don't give them anything for free. Say you got to work to live here, and bring your own food, or maybe if you have food donations, you give them food and stuff. But nothing like crazy. All you need is a water and power hookup. Bring your own tent. Stay here. Don't do drugs. If you get seen, caught doing anything crazy, you're getting kicked out. You got to have a job. You got to have a job to stay here. And if you don't have a job, you have a bad work experience. We have jobs around you can be a groundskeeper. You can mow the lawn. You can work on the garden. You have a garden on the premises where you grow stuff. You can feed them the stuff that they grow. Teach them about that. All kinds of stuff. Have a church on the property. Not a lot of overhead. Depends on how much we're doing, how much the overhead is, but you could have it very cheap. Anyway, it's just interesting. They're stealing my idea. I guess it's not a very unique idea. Beer drinking in America falls to the lowest level in a generation. Guys, is get woke, go broke coming true? Am I wrong? Is it a real thing? We drank less beer this year. Let's go, America. I think I drank less beer than the previous year. It wasn't just Bud Light. The past year saw the lowest level of beer consumed. Oh, so get woke, go broke is not the cause. Less beer was consumed overall. It wasn't just less Bud Light being consumed. Get woke, go broke is a lie. Point proven. Point proven. Every beer company lost money because Americans aren't drinking as much beer. Why? Past year saw the lowest level of beer consumed in the U.S. in a generation, according to the industry group Beer Markets Insights, as consumers shifted away from traditional favorites to other forms of alcohol, and in a growing number of cases, because of that's why, because of the dang seltzer, the seltzer waters and stuff like that, White Claws and crap like that. Avoiding alcohol, and in a growing number of cases, avoiding alcoholic beverages altogether. Based, it was a tough year for beer. For the first time in 1999, since 1999, beer shipments were on track to fall below 200 million barrels. Leading the decline, Steinman said, was Anheuser-Busch. But while Bud Light maker caught headlines over a sponsorship agreement with a transgender influencer, Dylan Mulvaney, that subsequently led to a boycott among some longtime drinkers, the protest does not explain why overall consumption still managed to fall, Steinman said. Instead, Anheuser-Busch was at the forefront of an acceleration in the long-term decline of so-called domestic premium brands, which include Bud Light and rivals Miller Lite and Coors Light, Steinman said. Anheuser-Busch, owned by global conglomerate AB InBev, also suffered from a decline in hard seltzers, a category which it has long dominated. Oh, so the seltzers are down too. Beer sales are all down all around. Interesting. 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 Less beer, more Everclear, huh? Yeah. Don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. I took two or three shots of Everclear. Yeah, I was kind of done for. And then I spilled the rest of it on the carpet. And if Echo stepped in it, he probably absorbed it through his paws and got drunk. Um, let's see. We got any geopolitics or any news like that? We do have geopolitics. We got Japan earthquake. But first, U.S. sinks 3 ships, kills 10 after Houthi Red Sea attack. I don't know what this is about, but it looked interesting from Reuters. Look at this giant crate. Look at these giant crate freighters. What the heck are these called? That's so much weight. All of those are dang, that's crazy. Those boats are huge. In Copenhagen, Dubai, and Cairo, U.S. helicopters repelled an attack by Iran-backed Houthi militants on a Maersk container vessel in the Red Sea, sinking 3 ships and killing 10 militants, according to accounts by American Maersk and Houthi officials on Sunday. The naval battle occurred around 3:30 GMT on Sunday as the attackers sought to board the Singapore-flagged Maersk Hangzhou. Maersk and U.S. Central Command CENTCOM said helicopters from the USS Eisenhower and USS Gravely joined the ship's security team in repelling the attackers after receiving a distress call, CENTCOM said. Is there a video for this? No, I think there's just pictures. Maersk said it was pausing all sailing through the Red Sea for 48 hours after the attack. A spokesman for the Houthis said a group carried out the attack because the ship's crew refused to heed warning calls. He said 10 Houthi naval personnel were dead and missing after their boats were attacked. Crazy. We got naval battles going down. The Suez Canal. It's rapid fire news. We're not going to go deep into this story, but China's been playing bumper boats, and now we got Houthis on crate liners, and we got to take them out. I have another, and that's pretty much all the small stories, the rapid fire news. But we do have the Japan earthquake, so we're going to spend a little time checking out what happened with this Japan earthquake, because I'm into like crazy weather patterns and natural disasters, and that's like one of the things I like to report on and talk about and see, because all over the world, all these crazy disasters, are they happening more frequently, or are we just more in the information age? Who knows, but it is crazy. A powerful quake rocks Japan. Nearly 100,000 residents ordered to evacuate. Let's watch the Reuters video after the ad plays here. You guys hear about this Japan earthquake? Second hand, minute hand, hour hand, the all tick. Japanese people can't even pronounce earthquake. Oh, the earthquake. We say tsunami. 2 seconds. 1 second. 0. All right.
Powerful earthquake hit central Japan on Monday. Residents rushed to evacuate from coastal areas. A powerful earthquake hit central Japan on Monday.
On Monday.
Residents rushed to evacuate from coastal areas as the quake, according to public broadcaster NHK, triggered.
Hey guys, calm down. It's not the quake you got to worry about. It's the tsunami. The tsunami. The tsunami's coming. That's what you got to worry about.
Waves of more than 3 feet along parts of the Sea of Japan. It also destroyed buildings, knocked out power to thousands of homes, and disrupted flights in the region.
Yeah, but what about the
Following
tsunami?
the quake, which had a preliminary magnitude of 7.6.
7.6, pretty big.
Japan Meteorological
Oh, snap!
issued tsunami warnings for the coastal prefectures.
The tsunami. You don't want to play with the dang tsunami, boy. You don't want to play with the tsunami. You think the quake is bad? The tsunami is what kills the most people. Maybe it comes from a quake, but still, that dang, the tsunamis.
The major tsunami warning was the
It's
first since
Godzilla!
2011.
It's Godzilla!
Russia has also issued tsunami warnings in its far eastern cities of Vladivostok and Nakodka. Tourist Baldwin Chia experienced the quake from Japan.
Oh, that was corny, Matthew. Oh, look! It's Godzilla! Run! Earthquake!
Alps.
So the whole room was shaking, the TV was shaking. I had to keep everything on the table. I did feel safe in my room though, but everything else was shaking.
Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said on NHK,
Yo, I would not want to be in a tight-ass little tunnel like that. After an earthquake, that tsunami's coming. You better dip. You better get to high ground, my ninja.
that authorities are assessing the extent of any damage and residents need to prepare for more potential tremors.
Starting the year off with a wave,
Japanese
that's a horrible joke, Matthew. Such a bad joke. Bad joke!
Utilities providers said that more than 36,000 households had lost power in Ishikawa and Toyama prefectures.
Ishikawa. Alright, so I don't know why that video is tripping me out. Japanimation giving me seizures. AP Japan lowers tsunami warning after a series of earthquakes, but tells people to stay away from the coast. So, we got video. No audio, but we got some video here. Damn. That's crazy. Look how much it's shaking. Wow. I wonder what story of the building they're on. Look at, that's crazy. That's a big earthquake. And that, oh, wow. More than a dozen strong quakes in the Japan Sea off the coast of Ishikawa. We got fires. Fires. Wow. That's crazy. But the tsunamis, they didn't get a big tsunami, so they got lucky. Japan dropped its highest level tsunami alert after issuing one following a series of major earthquakes Monday, but told residents of coastal areas not to return to their homes as deadly waves could still come. The quakes, the largest of which had a magnitude of 7.6, started a fire and collapsed buildings on the west coast of Japan's main island, Honshu. It was unclear how many people might have been hurt or killed. The Japan Meteorological Agency reported more than a dozen strong quakes in the Japan Sea off the coast of Ishikawa and nearby prefectures starting shortly after 4 p.m. local time. At least 6 homes were damaged by the quakes with people trapped inside. Government spokesperson Yashimasa Hayashi said a fire broke out in Wajima City, Ishikawa Prefecture, and electricity was out for more than 30,000 households, he said. Earthquake 7.5 magnitude. Let's see what CNN footage, what footage they got. What did they show me? An ad of a guy snorting something? Earthquake of 7.5 magnitude hits Japan. Conflicting reports. We've seen 7.6, 7.5. We got pictures here. I don't know who these guys are. As soon as the ad's over, we'll play this. Or maybe we'll just play this. Sky News. See what Sky News got.
On the western shore of Honshu Island, the earth begins to tremble.
We'll watch this Sky News footage and then we'll just wrap it up with that. I don't know if we saw a death toll yet. But yeah.
Towns and cities begin to shake as a series of earthquakes rock parts of central Japan.
Looks like that place got nuked. Oh no. Oh no, Stubborn One. No, this was way worse than a nuke.
The information board at a station in Ishikawa swings wildly.
Dang, get out from under it, moron! Why is this idiot standing under it when it's shaking about to drop on him?
Passengers on the trains gasp for air as the tectonic plates which lie beneath this region shift and slide and buckle. No deaths or injuries have been reported, but officials report 6 incidents where people were buried under rubble.
Well,
50 separate earthquakes have been recorded by Japan's seismic monitor.
Oh, that band's rocking for a different reason.
Including one with a magnitude of 7.
If the bands are rocking, don't come a knocking.
Tsunami warnings have been issued.
Oh, you gotta watch for that tsunami, boy.
Up and down the coast. Fearing a surge in water levels of up to 5 meters, residents have been ordered to evacuate. Every minute counts, say government officials.
So no deaths or injuries. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good, Japan. Pretty good. All right. So earthquakes, Trump taking off the ballot, screwing with the ballot, screwing with the elections again already. We're going to see more division, more adversity, more inflation, worse economy, more war. It's going to get crazy in 2024. You thought 2020 was wild. Well, we just started 2024. So that's all the news and that's all the stuff I got for you guys. Except for the last segment of the show. I'm going to take a little break. Let me see. Here, you guys can watch CNN's report on it. This is 2 minutes.
People forced
and I'll be
under
right back.
tables at this bowling alley as Ishikawa Prefecture was rocked by a 7.5 earthquake. Homes and businesses destroyed by the powerful impact. This woman pleading for aid as she showed the damage to the town of Matsunami. Please come help us, she says. My city is in a terrible situation. The epicenter, near Anamizu on Japan's western coast, causing water levels to surge and raising fears of a devastating tsunami potentially to come. Authorities issuing immediate warnings and evacuation orders for the areas closest to the shore. In nearby mountains, tourists rushed outside as the quake struck. Frightening scenes as Japan woke up to the new year. People forced under tables at this bowling alley as Ishikawa Prefecture was rocked by a 7.5 earthquake. Homes and businesses destroyed by the powerful impact. This woman pleading for aid as she showed the damage to the town of Matsunami. Please come help us, she says. My city is in a terrible situation. The epicenter, near Anamizu on Japan's western coast, causing water levels to surge and raising fears of a devastating tsunami potentially to come. Authorities issuing immediate warnings and evacuation orders for the areas closest to the shore. In nearby mountains, tourists rushed outside as the quake struck.
Suddenly, it get pretty strong earthquake. You can see all the snow from the electric wire goes down. So everybody was panicked that time.
Monday's impact rekindling memories of the strongest quake ever recorded in Japan. The 2011 shock which unleashed deadly waves and caused a nuclear catastrophe as it impacted the Fukushima nuclear plant. More than 22,000 were killed. Authorities saying this quake, nothing like that one.
Beginning with the Shika nuclear power plant closest to the epicenter, there are currently no reported irregularities with nuclear power plants.
The full scale of Monday's powerful quake still difficult to assess, as thousands were left without water or power, and many remain trapped underneath the rubble. Hanako Montgomery, CNN, Tokyo.
All right, guys. Back here. We're back. Bring it back. Bring it on back. Okay. Let's talk about Dean. This was from you. This is Dean's request. Talk about some digital currencies, some global digital currencies, some central bank digital currencies, cryptocurrency. Dean wants to know about the origin of currency. The origin of currency. I didn't have that plan, but we'll do live research, Dean, for you. Let me see something real quick. The barter system, yes. So currency, we need currency. The barter system likely originated 6,000 years ago, right around the time of like the beginning of the Bible. The first coin we know of is from the 7th century BC, so 700 years before Jesus, and the first paper money came into the world around 1020 AD. Eventually, medieval banking systems gave way to the gold standard, which in turn gave way to modern currency. True history of money, how currency evolved from pelts to paper. So we needed a system of trade, Dean, because it's basic economics. If I make tables, eventually I don't need a table. My friends don't need a table. My neighbors don't need a table. But that's what I'm good at, is making nice tables. So if everybody I know has a table already, hold on. Somebody smarter than me has explained this before. It's basically you make tables, your neighbor makes chairs, but now I have chairs and table. You have chairs and table. What are we going to do with all these chairs and tables? We got to find a way. And, maybe I don't need what you have. Maybe you, chair guy. What's that saying? Faux realsies? Faux realsies. Yes. What am I trying to say? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I've said this before. Once I have a table, and you have a table, and I have chairs, but you make chairs, then we got to find a way to trade. So we turn it into currency. Currency is time and energy, basically. Time and energy from your work transferred into something fungible, supposed to be fungible, supposed to be something that there's a limited amount and it's not recreatable easily. Things aren't looking good for JS at all then. We'll be fair. Canines, felines, bovines, and equines come into heat. Your correlation will be all right, man. I know I didn't say that very well. But yeah, basically we convert our skills into something other than what our skill is. Like, because if I make a table, you need my table, but I don't need what you have, right? Maybe you're good at hunting, and I made a table, right? And you're a good hunter, but you're not a good craftsman. But I'm also a decent hunter, so I've already got meat. I've already got meat, and I've got a table. You've got meat, but no table. Then I give you my table. What are you going to give me? You're going to give me meat. Well, I already have meat. I can hunt too. Your skill is not something that I need. It's not necessary. It doesn't help me. Your skill is great. It's great that you have that skill, but I don't need that skill, but you need what I have. So what are you going to give me when I give you what you need? You need to give me something I need. Well, you don't have any skills that I need. But that guy needs your skill. So go do your skill. Go go give some meat to that guy, and then he'll give you something, and then you could bring that back to me. And so we found the best way to do this is just use some dang rocks and some seashells or some gold eventually. Because at first they didn't understand like the non-fungible idea. So we would just be using rocks and seashells. And then somebody's going to get smart enough one day to be like, whoa, well, I could just go get all the seashells down at the seashore. Sally sells seashells at the seashore. She sells seashells for seashells. I'll just go get the seashells. And so they're like, okay, well, we have to put a symbol on it or something to make it non-fungible so people can't just make them up or find them in the wild. And then eventually we get to gold because gold is very valuable. Allegedly, there's a limited amount of it, and it's very hard to get. And then we have the gold standard, the Fed and all that. They got the gold. The Goldman Sachs, Bergenstein brothers. They got the gold. You know what I'm talking about. And then we went to the petrodollar. We started basing it off oil. And then that's when all these endless wars in the Middle East over oil, even though we have oil here, we could just go to freaking take over Venezuela and get all the oil. There's plenty of oil. And a fossil fuel is not some non-renewable resource. It's the lifeblood of the earth. But now that's our money now. And now we're getting to a point to where it's going to be digital. The money's just going to be digital. We're not going to have it's not going to represent anything. It's just going to be digital. And this is the crypto stuff. I know if you got rich off some crypto, good for you. If you lost money off crypto, sucks for you. But I think at the end, everybody's going to lose on crypto because the government, I talked about it a long time ago. Biden signed an executive order like when he first got in to examine the dangers of cryptocurrency. And this was so that they could limit and restrict unregulated cryptocurrency trades, and that they could basically make their own, and that would be the official standard, the global standard. And that leads us to Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. So let me open up the little files. Barter system likely originated 60,000 years ago. First coin we know of. I think I already read that. Yeah. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood? How much chuck could a chuck wood if a chuck wood could a woodchuck? See what I did there? I just switched all the woods with chucks and the chucks with woods the second time. Try that. Try that. Where's my files? Where's my files? Oh, we only got some videos to watch. I didn't really have a lot of time to do research on this, Dean. I just saw the question, so we're going to do live research. And we're going to watch some videos. Ooh, good one, Rome. Rubber buggy biggie bumper. That one I can't do. Rubber baby boogie. Rubber buggy babies. Ruger bumper baby buggers. Rubber bunker bubby boogers. I can't do that one. CBDC is generally defined as a digital liability of a central bank that is widely available to the general public. Today in the United States, Federal Reserve notes, i.e. physical currency, are the only type of central bank money available to the general public. So, what is an example of centralized digital currency? Bahamas with its sand dollar currency, which was launched in October of 2020. See, they used to use sand dollars. And then you're like, oh, crap, I can just go to the beach and get all the sand dollars. Now we're like hunting sand dollars out of extinction because in the Bahamas, these Caribbean people, it was their money. But this is talking about a digital currency that the Bahamas has. Jamaica with its JamDex currency, which was launched in July of 2022. Nigeria got its own e-currency with its e-Naira currency, which was launched October 2021. So there's a bunch of them already. Board of the Government Federalist. Frequently asked question: what is the central bank digital currency? Digital form of central bank money that is widely available to the general public. Central bank money refers to money that is liability of the central bank. In the United States, there are currently two types of central bank money: physical currency issued by the Federal Reserve and digital balances held by commercial banks at the Federal Reserve. While Americans have long held money predominantly in digital form, for example, in bank accounts, payment apps, or through online transactions, a CBDC would differ from existing digital money available to the general public because a CBDC would be a liability of the Federal Reserve, not of a commercial bank. Will a U.S. CBDC replace cash or paper currency? The Federal Reserve is committed to ensuring the continued safety and availability of cash and considering a CBDC as a means to expand safe payment options, not to reduce or replace them. Has the Federal Reserve decided to create a CBDC? The Federal Reserve, the U.S. dollar, age of the digital transformation, as a first step in fostering a broad and transparent public dialogue about CBDCs in general and about the potential benefits and risks of a U.S. CBDC. The paper is not intended to advance any specific policy outcome, and no decisions have been made at this time. The Federal Reserve has made no decision on issuing a central bank digital currency and would only proceed with the issuance of a CBDC with an authorizing law. Testifying before the House Financial Services Committee on March 2023, Chairman Powell said a central bank digital currency is something he would certainly need congressional approval for. Hopefully, yeah. Duh. By the way, this is the federalreserve.gov, Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Why is the Federal Reserve considering it now? Charged with promoting monetary and financial stability and the safety and efficiency of the payment system and studying how a CBDC, I'm just going to call them, what's a quicker way to say this? CD's nuts could improve an already safe and efficient U.S. domestic payment system. With technological advances ushering in a wave of new private sector financial products and services, including digital wallets, mobile payment apps, and new digital assets such as cryptocurrencies and stable coins, the Federal Reserve and other central banks around the globe are exploring the potential benefits and risks of issuing a CBDC. Let's watch one of these videos.
The CBDC, or the Central Bank Digital Currency, is all set to go global.
She's going to tell us about it.
Thanks to the International Monetary Fund, which is working on a global platform for CBDC transactions. The IMF wants countries to agree on a common framework for digital currencies for two main reasons here. A common law will help in easy transaction of CBDCs around the world. A global framework will keep a check on unregulated cryptocurrencies. Speaking at a banking conference.
There you go. A global World Economic Forum, a global entity, is going to keep its eye on unregulated cryptocurrencies while they set up their own, basically, cryptocurrency for the whole world. A global, centralized digital currency. Here's some World Economic Forum elite person. Who's this lady?
IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva.
The IMF, eyes global digital currency. What's the IMF? International Money Frauds, International Monetary Fund. Oh, it's close, actually. I was just joking, but International Monetary Fund, the IMF. What is the IMF? They could do about, you still have the cash. You could still have cash. You could still have gold put away somewhere. They can't really do much right now to take that from you unless they imprison you. But they'll review your social media and say stochastic terrorism and all that stuff, and they'll be able to just, your money's gone because your money was never anything in the first place. Crazy. But like, I see the benefits for small business owners and stuff like that, people who are doing online business. I see the benefit to having one. What the heck was that, Echo? One currency. But it's also dangerous. It's also satanic and evil. So, no. Of course, there's always a silver lining to these evil things. Or sometimes, actually, the whole thing is silver, but it's actually a darkness behind it's not even just a silver lining. It's like it all looks and sounds great. Fun, evil stuff, one currency, one nation, one religion, one God for the whole world, and we all agree on everything, and kumbaya. One language. We all speak the same language, and maybe we can dig down to the center of the earth, or we can go to Mars
What's if we all just work together to fight the fake aliens? That's evil. Sounds nice. Sounds really good. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. What are the potential benefits? I already read that. What are the risks? A CBDC's nuts could pose certain risks and raise a variety of important policy questions, including how it might affect financial sector market structure, the cost and availability of credit, the safety and stability of the financial system, and the efficacy of monetary policy. So it sounds like if it doesn't work out, it's just going to collapse everything. It could just destroy the whole system, is what they're saying, basically. The risks are it could completely destroy the financial system as we know it. The benefits are you'll be able to sell your surfboard on Pinterest much easier to some Chinese person. You'll be able to order off of Weimu or whatever it's called, Temu, much easier if there's a digital currency. It'll be so cool, guys. Your business making arts and crafts and selling them on Facebook is going to excel once we do this global. The risks, the entire financial system could just totally destabilize and collapse. But you sold your mug. Then what happens after one world? I don't know what that means. Stream crashed at IMF. Did it? Chat disconnected. Please wait while we reconnect you. Are we back on? Yo, I didn't even notice that happened. What? Are you not supposed to talk about the IMF? I was just reading the internet. I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to talk about IMF. I just learned what it was. I don't know. I didn't say that they were damn Illuminati. I just said they're climate change people and they're watching the money. I didn't disagree or agree. What the heck? Are we back on? Yeah, we're back. Okay. Dang. All right. Mental note. Don't talk about the IMF. Yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea. Okay. So the risks, yeah, the entire financial market could be destroyed instantly, like a giant nuke on money. What principles will guide the Federal Reserve's consideration of a CBDC? Any U.S. CBDC should, among other things, provide benefits to households, businesses, and overall economy that exceed any costs and risks, yield such benefits more effectively than alternative methods, complement rather than replace current forms of money and methods for providing financial services, protect consumer privacy. Yeah, good luck with that. Protect against criminal activity and have broad support from key stakeholders. Would a CBDC protect my privacy? Need to strike an appropriate balance between safeguarding the privacy rights of the consumers and affording the transparency necessary to deter criminal activity. Seems like a bunch of mess. How can I learn more about it? Reading Money and Payments, the U.S. Dollar in the Age of Digital Transformation is a good place to start. This paper concludes with requests for public comment. First step in a broad consultation. How do I read that? Is that what I'm... How do I read that book? What's that book? How long is it? I'm not going to read it right now, but... Money and Payments, the U.S. Dollar in the Age of Digital Transformation. This is a .gov, so I don't know why they're trying to sell a book. Some IMF shadow nonsense. What is this book? What is this book? Let's look it up. Money and Payments. Can I get an audiobook for free? IMF, the World Economic Forum, can I get an audiobook for free? I really want to engross myself in this wisdom. Oh, cool. Let's download it. How many pages is it? See, I should have read this first and then done the show about this, Dean. I'm not good at my job, but later, maybe we could read this whole thing on a stream, or can we get an audio tape? The Federal Reserve conducts the nation's monetary policy. This is money and payments, the US dollar in the age of digital transformation. I think did I download it? I'll download it. We'll skim through it now. Maybe I'll read it later. I should have downloaded it on my phone. The Federal Reserve conducts the nation's monetary policy to promote maximum employment and stable prices in the U.S. economy. We haven't been doing a very good job at that lately. They promote the stability of the financial system and seek to minimize and contain systemic risks through active monitoring and engagement in the U.S. and abroad. Well, you're definitely got your fingers in all the cookie jars, so you're doing that right. Promotes the safety and soundness of individual financial institutions and monitors their impact on the financial systems as a whole. Oh, they be doing some monitoring at the Federal Reserve. Fosters payment and settlement system safety and efficiency through services to the banking industry and U.S. government, facilitate U.S. dollar transactions, payments, and promotes consumer protection and community development through consumer-focused supervision and examination, research and analysis of emerging consumer issues and trends, community economic development activities, and administration consumer. Okay, we're not going to read all this, but it's 40 pages. It's not that long, but I'm not going to read it on stream. Executive summary, background, introduction, existing forms of money, the payment system, recent improvements to the payment system, remaining challenges for the payment system, digital assets, central bank digital currency, uses and functions, potential benefits, potential risks. We already read all that. I think we essentially already read basically most of this through the other website we were reading over here. Well, they summed it up here. But this is the actual, I downloaded it, so we'll read it. I'll read it. Tell you if I learn anything new, but not going to do it right now. For now,
this piece of
In
paper represents
1694,
money.
the Bank of England became the first public bank to regularly issue banknotes as an alternative to coins.
Yo, this girl cute. This girl cute than a mug. I'm saying.
Of payment. 3 centuries later, it's primarily tasked with maintaining price stability, much like any other central bank across the world. But these cautious institutions are now buzzing with talk of a revolutionary concept, a form of money you cannot see: central bank digital currencies.
When you ask central banks around the world,
central bank digital currency. Let's add some background noise. Let's add campfire.
whether they are exploring CBDC. 1 year ago, the answer was 80% of them were exploring, and now it's nearly 90%.
Exactly. Everybody thinks Bitcoin is anonymous. It's not. Just hitting a nerve. What nerve did I hit? You hurt YouTube's feelings. I didn't even know about that. I guess we just learned a hot button issue. Everybody thinks Bitcoin is anonymous. It's not. Unless you hack digital currency and develop a new code. I personally made about 500 a few years ago on altcoins and then cashed out right before one of them crashed. Nice, you got lucky. I got screwed. Probably only invested $100. Jaws. Done up. I saw a clip saying gold and silver will crash. Good luck. Yeah, I don't think gold will ever crash. It's just too functional. It's got too many uses. It's the most malleable metal. It's the most you can cut it thinner, you can bend it more, the most conductive. It just has so many, and just historical importance. Like gold is in every story. Like people worship gold. A lot of people worship gold. Not everybody. A lot of people worship gold. Plus, it's just functional. So gold's never gonna, like, it could lower, it could be less value. It's never gonna be like not worth something.
Last year, 40% were experimenting, and now it's 60%. The vast majority of central banks are exploring CBDC.
The idea of digital money is not new. Many of us use debit and credit cards or payment apps for transactions. But what would make a central bank digital currency different?
They're going to own all of it. They're going to own everything. Imagine if PayPal or Venmo, like, you're not supposed to keep large chunks of money in PayPal and Venmo. PayPal and Venmo could just shut down at any moment. And then you have all your money in there, and then they're just making the money. They're printing money. They're controlling the money. They're holding the money for you. They're distributing the money. And it's all just imaginary. It's funny money. It's funny money.
One of the big financial developments over the last few years has been the rise in popularity of cryptocurrencies, with one in particular, Bitcoin.
Energy-based? Digital currency is all energy-based? I don't think it's based in anything. I think it's just an imaginary thing that they figured out how to make money off the idea of something.
Standing out. Following Tesla's announcement that it bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in February 2021, the volatile cryptocurrency's price surged to new highs, giving it a theoretical market capitalization that is even larger than the world's two largest payments processing companies, Visa and MasterCard. Unlike
I don't know when this is made because Bitcoin actually got up to like 66,000 at one point. And I bought in at like 50 when it was at like 50,000. And then it dropped. Boom! It dropped down to like 12. And I held it for a while, but eventually I had to sell it. And then like a week later, it jumped back up to 40. Pissed me off.
Payments processing companies, Visa and MasterCard. Unlike traditional money, cryptocurrencies are not issued by a central bank, but rather via a decentralized network of computers, typically using blockchain technology.
Blockchain.
Even Facebook is trying to...
Blockchain. It's made up. It's made up. It doesn't mean anything. I've looked into it.
Get in on the act with the 2019 announcement that it would develop its own digital currency, known at the time as Libra.
That was his first time drinking water. He's a reptile. Look how he's freaking out about drinking this water right now. That was his first time ever taking a sip of water. He had to do it because the cameras were on. They're like, look natural, Mark. Look natural, Mark. Watch.
That it would develop its own digital currency, known at the time as Libra, and now rebadged as DM.
And so at that point,
he was afraid of it. Thought it might be poisoned.
Central bankers started to realize that they were really under some threat. And the question became, if we can't beat them, do we join them?
Investors in Bitcoin believe that because there is a theoretical cap on the number of Bitcoins that can ever be mined, the cryptocurrency will become
Why? Why is there a theoretical cap? I've looked into it. It doesn't make sense. They explain it, but it doesn't matter. It still doesn't make sense.
Increasingly valuable at a time when central banks have been printing more money than ever before to arrest the economic fallout from the pandemic. That's why people sometimes call Bitcoin digital gold. Many central banks are worried that the widespread adoption of these independent cryptocurrencies could weaken their control over the financial system. This could cause financial instability, especially because cryptocurrencies do not have the legal or the regulatory safeguards that central bank money does. So why not issue a digital currency of their own? Currently, regular bank deposits, cash, and cryptocurrencies issued by the private sector, such as Diem and Bitcoin, all have a few features that make them useful. But the hope is that publicly available CBDCs would have all these desirable characteristics.
Not CBD,
Unlike your savings in a commercial bank, which rely on the bank's promise to fulfill, CBDCs are recognized by law and backed by the power of the central bank, which cannot go bankrupt. For example, if a commercial...
Hold on. I was grabbing a... Dang, not a Zen. Sorry, Tucker, I got ons. I don't have Zins, but I want to hear what she's saying one more time, because widely accessible digital, what is this? This is some kind of crazy Venn diagram. This is a wild Venn diagram right here. Central bank digital currencies. Cash, token-based, central bank issued, digital, widely accessible. So the World Economic Forum, the IMF people, they want us to do the widely accessible one. All these are being used already. They want to do the widely accessible where it's basically one big one for the whole world. Now why is cash over here?
But the hope is that publicly available CBDCs would have all these desirable characteristics. Unlike your savings in a commercial bank, which rely on the bank's promise to fulfill, CBDCs are recognized by law and backed by the power of the central bank, which cannot...
Wait, claim, business and customers. Central bank.
...not go bankrupt. For example, if a commercial bank collapses, part of your savings could potentially be wiped out. But this wouldn't be the case for CBDCs, which could be as trusted as cash, as convenient as a payment app, yet
Sounds good. Sounds good. So that's the opposite of what I was just thinking, what I was just saying. They're saying the opposite. So I don't know. I just don't trust it. They're saying it's more trustworthy than a bank. Maybe I don't trust banks either though. Why don't we just have cash?
also benefit from the same blockchain technology which underpins cryptocurrencies. And just like cash, CBDCs could be distributed through commercial banks, avoiding too much disruption to the financial system, or the central bank having to deal directly with many millions of citizens and businesses.
Think of banknotes, which are the closest equivalent to central bank digital currencies that we have today.
Yo, this is CNBC, by the way. Just the music that's playing and like the vibes. They're pushing this. You know, they want you to think this is a good idea. So take everything that they're saying with a grain of salt, because they have a narrative. They want us to think this is a great idea. You know, it's got a terrible reputation. Jazz, you just want to see her pretty face somewhere. Her fur rim coat is so pretty.
Except that they're on paper, of course. This is money that is issued by the central bank and used daily in retail payments. The central bank sells banknotes to commercial banks, and then the commercial banks distribute.
Commercial banks. Bonk. You ever get bonked on the head? A commercial bonk.
Banknotes through ATMs to their clients.
This means that everyone could have access to this digital currency, which could bring a lot of benefits.
Oh, she ain't wearing none. I can tell.
It could make payments faster, allowing for immediate settlements and no processing delays. And it could also make payments cheaper. In the US, the aggregate cost of making retail payments.
I can see that fire in her eyes. She's catching a little breeze. You know?
Ranges from 0.5% to 0.9% of GDP. Digital currencies would reduce those costs.
Laundering of tax dollars is never stopped.
It also means that more people could have access to electronic payments. Currently, over 1.5 billion adults across the globe don't have access to the financial system. And
right, and just like we gotta give them all phones, we gotta give them all tablets now for free. You gotta give them food stamps, housing. Everybody needs to have a centralized digital bank account. You need a phone, you need a bank account, and we'll put some fake money in your fake bank account for you. But you're gonna go live in a coffin apartment. Your apartment's gonna be. Wait till these communists find out that everybody has a job in communism. That part of communism is everybody working. You're gonna be working at a dang factory, whether you like it or not. You're not just gonna. You're not just JS simping. Am I simping? Oh no.
Even in an advanced economy such as the US, more than 6% of Americans don't have a bank account. Issuing digital currencies could also make it easier for governments to deliver stimulus checks, or even go one step further and make targeted payments to those deemed most in need. So how soon could central bank digital currencies become a reality? China is the major economy which is most advanced in its CBDC development. The People's Bank of China has been running tests of its digital currencies since April 2020 with the help of 4 banks in the country. Tens of thousands of consumers have already been involved with the pilot, spending 2 billion yuan in over 4 million transactions.
Isn't that yen? 2 billion yen? Or is that something different? Is a yuan different than a yen?
For China, it could also be a means of reasserting control over a financial system challenged by the rapid growth of fintech companies.
Ant Pay and WeChat, I mean, these are the dominant payment technologies in China. And they are in the hands of Alibaba and Tencent. And if Beijing can wrest that back, then I think they will. And the way that they've set up the e-yuan is that it will still be effectively very integrated with the commercial banks.
Make them
but it is
like
effectively
the CBDC.
a direct challenge to the payment technologies. They are trying to ultimately
Make them
displace them.
like
the e-yuan is going to have its own digital wallet.
Right.
At the commercial bank, and over time people will probably just find it more convenient to use that, and thereby displacing Ant Pay, for example.
There may also be a geopolitical consideration for China, providing a mechanism to shift away from using the US dollar.
Yep, there you go. Now we're on to BRICS, so it's all tied up. It's all tied up. The BRICS, the CBDCs, the social credit, which is already here, the ESG, all that. It all the World Economic Forum, the IMF, it all ties together.
There's no doubt
The
that
Federal Reserve.
Beijing views the US dollar as a strategic advantage that the US has. The problem is that most of the trade, the real world trade, is denominated and invoiced in US dollars, right? And China sees this, and it's very hard for them to sort of push renminbi into the global financial system, the global trading system, but they're trying. But if they had a digital currency, that would be potentially a really fascinating angle. So you can see if it's got a technological advantage, that perhaps this is a way for people to think about the renminbi in a different way, and perhaps, you know, ultimately start to...
It's not simping to admire an attractive woman from afar and understand the beauty that God gave her. As long as she ain't looking like a dang hoe, she's a reporter. She's a pretty reporter. I probably shouldn't have said that she's not wearing panties. That wasn't nice of me.
chip away at the hegemonic status of the dollar.
But it's not just China.
China.
The European Central Bank has plans for a digital euro, although it may be a few years before it is available.
We are going to have to address all the issues.
You talk about Fang Fang? Bank teller lady with the red bow looked like that one politician that dates Asian. But you talking about Fang Fang? She looked like Fang Fang. Who was that? Swalwell? So no, that was the spy. Yeah, he likes dating Asian spies.
Of
what is this lady?
Anti-money laundering, financing of terrorism.
Go back to the other chick. Fast, please.
Privacy of users and all their information. The appropriate technology that will carry that digital currency. And this is, you know...
it's basically Schrodinger's cat. Or Schrodinger's box, or Pandora's box. What is it? Something like that. Schrodinger's cat box. Schrodinger's cat. Pandora's box. Something like that. It's a mystery, you know? You can't really know. It actually both exist in the same... in different realities, right? Could be either, so it is both until... Okay, let's...
A project that will probably take us 2, 3, 4 years before it is launched.
This has got people wondering whether issuing a central bank digital currency could
How do they
interfere
speak
with
face
the
to face or screen to
effectiveness of
screen?
monetary...
They actually don't, Dean. Let me give you a little media thing. A lot of these interviews and stuff, the person records, they get the questions on a piece of paper and they answer the questions on the piece of paper, and they're just saying it into a camera. Then the interviewer gets all pretty and gets in front of a camera and will read the questions, and then they'll cut it up to make it work for the show. They'll cut it up how it's answered and how the question is. The way she asked the question on the show may not be the way she asked the question on the paper. I know they show the over-shoulder video, and it looks like she's actually talking to him, but that's probably just a green screen. And his responses are probably pre-recorded, and then she's just doing fill-in questions and looking pretty. Basically. That's how a lot of the networks do that stuff. You hear the campfire going, guys? All right, this is almost over.
Monetary policy.
Central banks have addressed CBDC so far is really as part of a payment discussion. That's a discussion for monetary policy committees, for the ECB Governing Council, whether they want to use...
I can't understand this guy.
CBDC or not. But it's too early to have a discussion.
But theoretically, if the central bank wanted, they could also pass on negative rates to the holders of central bank digital currencies.
Think of CBDC as being the future of banknotes.
Banknotes do
not...
See this? This is a green screen, or like a fake. Yeah, she's not actually sitting there talking to him. She's just recording in front of the camera, and then they put the little picture of him. I don't know. It does look like they're in a Zoom call. Yeah, but see if you actually maybe it's real. It does kind of look like they're in a Zoom call, so they could be doing it. But a lot of networks chop it up, and it's kind of fake. But it does look like they are in a Zoom call here.
Their interest. And so, if you follow that line of reasoning, then CBDC should not bear interest.
More now?
And if you want CBDC to bear interest, then you're creating something different.
A lot depends on how
Risks.
much people would use CBDCs, and no central bank wants them to completely replace traditional cash, but rather to complement it. One risk associated with CBDCs is that in an extreme situation, such as after a financial crash, you could see people withdrawing their deposits from commercial banks and opting to store their money in digital currencies backed by the central bank.
Yeah, the greatest thing about COVID is we did all of our political meetings for America and school board meetings and everything on damn Zoom calls. So China was just like sitting back eating popcorn, watching all of the inner workings of America play out like a TV show.
Example would be if CBDC would replace bank deposit in a large amount, because then what happens is that savers could shift their
What are these people saying? I don't speak this language.
CBDC. Then banks could have a problem.
Okay. So enough of that. We read all this stuff. This video is 30 minutes. I'm not going to play this whole video. We might just skip through. We might just watch maybe this first check. This guy's pushing CBDCs. So dangers, advantages, discussions, the problem with money today.
Is a horrible score. Okay, first, let's talk about privacy. If you pay for something...
All these foreign people with accents.
Well, using your bank-issued card, then various institutions are potentially getting access to this data. First of all, your bank stores all of this information, and second, card companies like Visa and MasterCard also often keep records of transactions made with your card.
What's up with all these damn Swedish people or French or whatever they are? They're all pushing this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Something smells fishy here. I don't ever trust a Frenchman.
Card. Sure, in many cases, this data is never accessed by anyone. However, occasionally both banks and card companies have been caught selling or accidentally leaking data. But perhaps more importantly, governments have easy access to this data as well. That is, if they suspect that you are, for example, avoiding taxes, financing terrorism, or laundering money. So I'd say for privacy.
Yeah, and wait till they get real snaky with that definition of terrorism and they start pulling the stochastic terrorism out. Oh, you said some words on the internet 10 years ago that were inciting violence and terrorism. Oh, you said Trump 2024. He's an insurrectionist who is a traitor to our country, and you supported him. You're a terrorist. You supported terrorism. He was a terrorist. Watch. Then they shut your CBDC down. All your money's gone. They shut down your electric and your water and your assistance, and you're done for, urbanites. Not you guys, not my chat, not that, but the other urbanites. We're the cool urbanites. There are other degenerate urbanites.
See, digital bank money gets a 1-star score. On the other hand, while cash is almost untraceable, many countries have laws that forbid
I've got the cash.
large cash transactions or require them to be reported to the authorities. So I'd say cash is also not perfect and gets a 2-star score for privacy, while noting that actually many people don't mind giving up some privacy to fight crime and terrorism.
Yeah, our videos will get banned in other countries, but yeah, we'll show all these foreigners, World Economic Forum stuff on YouTube. And this is when you search CBDC. These are just some of the first videos. I didn't do any heavy research into this, guys. I just grabbed some videos so we could learn together about this stuff. I do want to read that paper, but you know, and I know I've been hearing a lot about the CBDC stuff, so I know I'm not totally ignorant to it. But I just grabbed the top search results, and it's all dang Frenchmen telling us that we need to have digital money for the whole world.
That being said, I think this striking photo of Hong Kong protesters queuing up to use cash rather than digital public transportation cards reveals that if a country turns authoritarian, people may suddenly really appreciate that physical money is there as an option. Okay, next up is accessibility. As money, cash is extremely accessible. After all, to hold this piece of paper, all you need to do is convince someone to give it to you. However, if you want a card like this one, then you will need to convince a bank that you are who you say you are by presenting your ID and that you are not going to use it to do anything illegal. While that might not be a problem for most viewers of this channel, research shows that roughly 6% and 30% of the population in
Well, you saying your viewers are rich or something?
advanced and emerging economies, respectively, does not have access to a bank account. Even more worryingly, there have been quite a few high-profile cases.
Probably because he lives in like Sweden, where they give him a free bank account. Because in America, probably picks up the bills for it.
Of people getting debanked, meaning that they lost their bank account. For example, in the United States, companies and people whose activities were legal, but banks found to be risky.
Oh, so it makes it easier to pay sex workers. Now we start to see, here's why the liberals are pushing the CBDC. Makes it easier to pay for illegal things.
Such as sex workers and pot growing.
Pot growing?
Used a bank account. And perhaps even more.
So there's where it is. That's what it's all about. Makes illegal things easier to pay for.
Worryingly, in the United Kingdom, controversial politicians Nigel Farage lost his bank account briefly because his
Nigel Thornberry.
His values did not align with that of the bank. And in Canada, the government even forced private banks to freeze the bank accounts of truckers that were protesting against.
Wow, there you go. There you go. Shutting down the accounts of protesters, of political dissidents. Shut down their bank account.
Nations. So while private bank accounts are accessible to most, they are not accessible to many people, and there is a legitimate threat of you losing your access to it, leading to a 1-star score for...
Yeah, so this is very liberal. It's like, it's kind of like the voter ID thing, like how the Democrats are like, well, black people can't be expected to be able to get an ID. They're doing the soft bigotry of low expectations, basically saying, well, there's a lot of poor people who don't have bank accounts. So what we need to do is we just need to not have fungible money in bank accounts and just make it all imaginary and give everybody some. That's what it looked like.
Versus a 3-star
score. And then look, you can tell this video is directed at liberals because it's like gold stars on a progress report in 2nd grade. That's what the graphic here is. It's a 1st grade report card with gold stars on it to decide the institutions of our financial institutions for the entire world is based off a gold star report card.
Or good old cash. However, when it comes to safety, I'd say it's a bit of a toss-up. On the one hand, having a lot of physical money with you is pretty dangerous as it exposes you to theft or...
I heard about healthcare.gov and how...
Healthcare.gov. No.
How easy...
Healthcare.gov. You can have a bump on your knee and they'll tell you you're about to lose your leg. Go to the doctor immediately. You need full leg amputation and partial castration. I mean, for the bump on your knee. What? For the bump on my knee? No.
On the other hand, bank fraud is a risk as well. However, as you can see in this picture of people queuing up at their ATM.
Where are these guys from where they say bonk? Bonk and cash. Cash from the bonk. We go to the bank and we get the cash. Very nice. It works in all ways. Dang, I'm behind. It's an easy way to get more money. What's up, Indy? Independent Mini United. Shout out.
During the Greek financial crisis, if there is a financial crisis, people often rediscover that actually...
Is this Sweden? It sounds Swedish than a mug, right? I am kind of French and Swedish. The cash in the bank. Put the bank in the cash.
Digital private bank money is a promise to pay physical central bank money. So in such a scenario, physical money is way safer. Still, in most cases, both are, let's be honest.
Listen, TradCon all the way. You just need a dang duffel bag in the closet and then have a couple Benjis under the mattress. Let's go back to that.
Pretty safe. So let's just give them both
some gold bars.
But despite that draw, cash is starting to look pretty good, I think, right? So then why are so many of us switching from cash to digital bank money. I mean, I hardly use cash anymore, and depending on where you live, a lot of people see.
Now, so that argument, in an apocalypse situation, digital currency doesn't mean anything either. Cash doesn't mean anything. For a little bit, it'll mean something. But once people realize, oh, the grid's down permanently, and like 70% of the population has killed each other, you know, the cash doesn't matter either. The cash won't matter. Your skills and your abilities will be what's worth money. Your survivability will be what makes money. And if you're able to hunt and gather and farm and just survive long enough to make yourself useful, then we can find a way back to like a barter system or a trading system. But for a while, it's just going to be everybody for themselves survive, right? If the grid goes down, the water shuts down, communications is out, you got to dip for like 3 months and just let people are going to go crazy. They're going to fight it out. But money won't matter. Digital money, crypto, gold probably will still have some barter value. Still. Well, even gold for a little while is not going to be worth anything, because if the grid's down and we can't figure out how to get it back up and to get energy, then what are we going to do with the gold? You know, other than eventually we'll start making necklaces out of it, but we're not going to need the chips. Taiwan, we don't need your chips anymore. The grid's down. So in that situation, money, cash, digital, it doesn't matter which it is, it's useless then. But for now, I think this CBDC stuff is dangerous.
Seem to feel the same way. For example, check out this graph from the United Kingdom, where you can see that the value of cash payments has declined from 55% in 2012 to only 15% today, while card and other payments have rapidly increased. Why is that? Well, in surveys, people most often mention convenience, which makes sense given that these days using a digital card or app is often just as simple as holding it close to a card machine. No need to count money or worry about change, carry around a lot.
Oh man, it's so stressful having to count this cash and use a calculator. Man, it's so tough. It's so difficult. We're so lazy, comfortable laziness. Somebody said depression is comfortable laziness, which is basically where in America, maybe this is why we have so much depression, is that you can be lazy and still be comfortable in America. In other places, and then you have time to be bored and depressed. In other places, you're starving. You got to go to work. You got to get stuff done. You don't have time to be bored. You can't be lazy, you'll die. And if you're comfortable, you're busting your ass to be comfortable so much that when you're comfortable, you just sleep it. You know? Comfortable laziness leads to depression. Otherwise, you don't have time to be depressed. $2. Baller. Look at, man, I got to count all these ones to buy this dang French fry. I got to count all these ones up. $2. Rome's awesome.
Large wallet or
he's got $3.
ATM all
the $3.
Similarly, if you are a merchant, then collecting digital payments.
Okay, we understand the problem with money today. The advantages of CBDC. This is a long segment. We're not going to watch all of it, but he's got more of his graphic, of his children's graphic to help us understand this. The advantages of CBDC, and then we'll look at the disadvantages, and then we'll be
Cost
done.
savings could be even bigger for those of us that sometimes send money across borders.
This video is for the
example,
autistic.
To go on vacation, or to the business, or to send money home to your family. The reason for this
stock image
is that just like with local bank transfers, a specialized messaging company that charges high fees is needed to make all of this work behind the scenes.
Swifty.
And to make this all even worse, banks often use more intermediaries such as correspondent banks.
Are they implying that Taylor Swift runs the Federal Reserve? Is that what we're getting at here?
Big financial centers like New York or London to make the foreign exchange transactions work behind the scenes, meaning that there will be even more fees. So in response, Several central banks have recently been running trials with so-called cross-border CBDCs, which is a fancy way of saying that they have experimented with giving foreign banks access to their wholesale CBDCs. For example, in Project Dunbar, Australia, South Africa, Malaysia and Singapore worked together to give their banks access to the CBDCs of each other.
Australia, South Africa, Singapore, and Malaysia? What the hell? I'm telling you, China owns Australia since COVID.
Work together to give their banks access to the CBDCs of each other. So, for example, in this project, an Australian bank could hold digital rands at the South African Reserve Bank, and a South African bank could hold digital Australian dollars at the Reserve Bank of Australia. Therefore, if a South African wine exporter now wanted to export wine to Australia, its bank could just directly receive rands from the client's bank in Australia. And in the current
See, I told you. So you'll be able to sell your little arts and crafts to Australia easier as the entire financial system crumbles. But you're going to get your sale on Pinterest. Freddie's going to sell his keychains. He's still got like 300 keychains that he bought. He ain't selling. You're going to be able to sell them with the CBDC
model, this transaction between banks would likely have gone through intermediaries in New York or London, hence being quite a bit more expensive. So CBDCs could make regular transactions slightly cheaper, and they could make international transactions a lot
cheaper. I like that. Ooh, stars. Ooh, gold stars. I like this. This sounds fun. This looks like a good idea. Thank you, Mr. Swedish guy. Thank you. Gold stars and cheaper?
Cheaper, meaning that a 3-star rating is in order here, I think. And as you might have noticed, we have now arrived at the part where we will talk about...
He does got that Elon. He got that Elon, that tism, that little sprinkle of that Elon-tism on him. He does look like Elon's brother, huh? That look like Elon's older brother.
Some new stuff, because the fifth proposed advantage of...
Maybe he's South African. He does sound like Elon, huh?
CBDCs is that it is supposed to give countries a
geopolitical
advantage. After all, as Russia has recently found out the hard way, relying on the dominant banking systems of other countries can be quite risky. After all, if global payments...
Whoa, is this guy pro-Russia? Is this guy based?
...run through foreign banking systems, then you can be excluded from those systems. Actually, geopolitics has been a major argument for the European Central...
That's not nice, guys. That's not nice.
...Bank to introduce the digital euro project, as its president, Christine Lagarde, explained in this clip.
The reason I'm personally convinced that we have...
This is a damn op. Who is this lady? Looking like E.T. Speaking of E.T., E.T. falling home. He's back. I thought he left Earth. E.T. is back. All right. Let's just stop insulting people, not learning anything. Let's look at the dangers. Let's see if this is fair and balanced. Let's look at the dangers and then wrap this up.
But a poorly designed CBDC. First, given that governments don't have a great track record of implementing good software, a poorly designed CBDC could be so clunky and bad that it ends up being less accessible than private digital money. Second, by offering a very safe digital asset, some economists have argued that the central bank could actually make bank runs more likely, thereby decreasing the safety of the monetary system. However, a simple counter-argument to these points would of course be that recent successes in India have shown that governments can actually build an online payment system that people love, and that financial stability concerns can be limited if people can only hold small sums of CBDC money, as has been proposed in, for example, Europe.
Holdings limit will prove central to the digital euro's future. Brugelstein.
And the United Kingdom. But what is less easily dismissed is that while a CBDC can be used to improve the lives of citizens, it can, of course, also be used to increase the control of a government over its population.
Yes.
To get to the root of this...
Let's just brush around that part. Let's just edge around that part.
Fear, let's quickly go back to that photo of protesters
he should be wearing
Hong Kong
a beret
that want to travel to the site of the protests, with cash. In this case, it is clear that cash helped people to voice their concerns about increasing authoritarianism. And now, China is one of the countries that is at the forefront of developing a CBDC, and many experts now indeed fear that its motivation is actually to move to a cashless society and increased levels of social control. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. It might just lead to more social control as the financial system collapses and they rebuild back better. We've seen how that turns out. And they increase their authoritarian, which, you know me, I'm a little more authoritarian than most of the right wing. I'm more authoritarian than I am libertarian, but I don't want no dang tyrannical authoritarianism. I don't want no dang commie authoritarianism. I would be cool if we had a theocracy being authoritarian over us, a church enforcing biblical law. I would be cool with that. But I ain't cool with no dang social credit score, digital currency controlling the China communist, that authoritarianism. Now I'll pass on that. Authoritarianism is neither left nor right wing. It's just north. You could be far left and be authoritarian, or far right. But anyway, they get more control with the money. Yeah, we can't just brush past that. That's like the most important issue here at hand.
If that is true, then it makes total sense that people worry that every CBDC will be used like that. Because indeed, unlike a democratic CBDC,
Yeah, but we're not even talking about every CBDC. We're talking about how they're trying to push for one CBDC. One central bank digital currency, a global CBDC. That's what they're pushing for. That's when it gets scary. If they want to have these little CBDCs in these little countries, I don't care. But they're trying to push a global one and replace other currencies with this. That's when we see a problem. It's the slippery slope. They say that's a fallacy. I don't think it's a fallacy. I think it's just a apparent observation that when you start going down a certain road, it gets worse and worse if you keep going down that road. And that's where we're heading.
CBDC with an authoritarian design would be far less private than cash and potentially also less private.
California is expanding healthcare for illegals. Shocker. Lots of big words that only make me feel like buying more guns. Nice. Yes.
But then private bank money. And to make matters worse, in this case, programmable money could allow governments to do weird and wonky stuff like giving us money that...
Like if we had a Jesus coin, CBDC, I'd be cool with that. You know, the Christ coin.
can only be spent on certain things.
Or they can control, as we talked about in the report, whether you can buy a firearm, how much gas you can buy, how much electricity you can buy.
Yeah, and we talked about this when they were talking about looking at the I reported on this, but they basically went to Visa and MasterCard, all the major credit card companies, and they said, we're going to go through you to monitor people's guns and ammunition purchases using their credit cards. So, and that technically they could shut down, they had it set up where if you were a red flag, if you were somebody that they were watching, they could shut down your ability to buy a gun, you know, based off their standards that you're a red flag. Maybe you said something that might be considered terroristic, like Trump 2024, I don't know. And then when you go to use your card at the store to buy guns or ammo, it declines it, shuts it down through a back door. Pause.
Can you buy meat, or do you have to buy bug-based meat?
And to make matters
Bug-based
even more
meat.
controversial, the Chinese...
Oh, you're going to eat the bugs. You didn't think we were going to get eating the bugs tied into this? Oh, you're going to eat the bugs. You're going to only be able to buy bugs with your CBDC Global World Economic Forum, IMF, CBDC. Lots of letters, lots of acronyms. All it comes down to is BUGs. It all leads to BUGs in your TUMM tummy. BUGs in the tummy, in the belly. That's what it all leads to. All roads lead to bugs.
CBDC pilot project included money that could expire, something that could make economic stimulus much more effective as it guarantees stimulus checks will actually be spent. But as critics pointed out, if your money can...
Oh, you're going to spend that stimulus. You're going to eat the bugs. All right. I think we learned all that. It's still kind of early. I wanted to go at least till 10. So we'll just hang out, read the chat. Maybe we could Google real quick update on the Epstein list. Epstein client list. Is that dropped yet? When's that dropping? The 11th, right? So Dean, did I cover enough? You asked twice about digital currency and one world currency. Did I cover the CBDCs and the one world currency, WIMF, all that crap? Did I cover it pretty well for you? 2 days ago, court documents naming Jeffrey Epstein's associates to be unsealed. What to know? Yeah, we already read about this. When's it happening? December 31st is what this story's from. Hundreds of sealed court filings pertaining to late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are set to be made public this week. And several prominent names, including Britain's Prince Andrew and former President Bill Clinton, are expected. Clinton?
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy. Clinton's on the list. Shocker. Is anybody surprised by this? Are expected to appear in the documents. U.S. District Judge Loretta Preska ruled earlier this month that there was no... sorry, I moved the thing. Former President Bill Clinton. More than 150 names. Other John and Jane Does mentioned in the records. Preska ordered the unsealing to begin after January 1st. Uh-oh, it's time. 2024 is getting crazy already. The list's about to drop, boys. The documents stem from a 2015 civil lawsuit centered on allegations that Epstein's one-time paramour, Ghislaine Maxwell, facilitated the sexual abuse of Virginia Giuffre, an alleged trafficking victim. Giuffre also accused Epstein and Maxwell of directing her to have sex with Prince Andrew and several other prominent men. Prince Andrew denied the allegations and claimed he could not recall ever meeting Giuffre. He let her settle a lawsuit she filed against him. Most of the prominent names that appear in the document are already associated in some ways with Epstein for allegations of wrongdoing, for having worked for Epstein, flown on his planes, or visited his homes. Some were mentioned during Maxwell's criminal trial in 2021. In some instances, the only appearances of names are in potential witness lists or in proposed terms for searches of electronic records. So it's coming out, guys, this week. Anything new? We going to get anything new from it? I think it's going to be a lot of redacted action. Maybe just give us the names we already know. Is Oprah on the list? Who do you think? We're taking bets, guys. Who are the biggest names that are on the list, on the Epstein client list? You know, where did oh, this is supposed to be over here. It's coming out. I can't wait for his records. Dean, you're going to see her get biblical. Norm McDonald. Shout out, Norm. Call it the island list. Oh, I'm an island list. And an island list. I'm an island boy with an island list. Let me see. So yeah, that's coming. It's not dropped yet, but we'll keep you updated. We will keep you updated. The history of money. What is money? Money often has no intrinsic value. Instead, money is an object with a value placed on it, allowing for the trade of goods and services. Some money, such as metal coins, has actual value in terms of the materials used. However, even these currencies derive their monetary value more from the faith people in society put in them. Throughout the evolution of money, currencies have taken several different forms. Back to the history of money. I heard Michael Jackson was on it. Ooh! Am I back on? Why would the people who own the media, who probably were on the list, the story run it on the news? I don't know, man. People have been asking for it for so long. Eventually, they're going to give us what they want us to have. I'm sure it's going to be thoroughly redacted and John and Jane Doe'd up. You know what I'm saying? I'm pooping my own eyeballs off on that one. What? That's how far back it goes? Dang, Lolita Express goes all the way back to Mike Jack. Oh, man. What else is there? I never really talked about this calendar gate thing. You guys been following this? Crucible did a Twitter space today, and he had everybody on there. He had Bryson on there. Everybody jumped up in that panel. Lots of big names jumped on. So congrats to the Crucible. That was a good panel that he had today. But he was talking about this calendar gate thing. I guess there's a tiff amongst conservatives. And it started with this calendar gate thing, and now there's this Isabella. Who is it? Is it Isabella Riley? Because I liked her, but she's married. It shouldn't be her. Who were they talking about? I know the calendar gate thing. This Twitter guy, conservative dad, did like a conservative calendar. And it's all like some of the pictures I saw were kind of tasteful. You know, woman's got heels on and a dress and an apron, and she's baking a cake, but she's hot. You know. But then I guess some of them weren't so tasteful, and a lot of conservatives were like, "Yo, why are we promoting the degeneracy like the left is?" And a lot of people were upset about it. I didn't really follow much about it, but the Crucible, his panel today on Twitter was excellent, but they were talking about this Roger Stone and Isabella something. I hope it's not Isabella Riley because I like her, but they kept saying Isabella conservative. How would I find who they were talking about? Calendar Gate? Know your memes. Calendar Gate refers to the she's mildly attractive. Make Mr. Rogers cool again. Kids need a real show. Yeah. He's alright. He's alright. Let's see. Calendargate refers to a viral controversy and online debate over the conservative dad's Real Women of America 2024 calendar, produced by Ultra Right Beer, which features scantily clad female conservative influencers. Debate over the appropriateness of the calendar sparked debate on the online right, with some calling it demonic. I think Bryson called it demonic, and many figures chiming in about whether the calendar represents the movement's values. Let's see this calendar. Let's see how bad it is. Let's see if this is Riley Gaines is on it. Is this Sarah Gonzalez? Yeah. Dana Loesch. See, that's not bad. Sarah Gonzalez is hot. That's not bad. This one, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, look, she's doing the Ashley St. Clair. I don't know who that is. But she's doing the dang the what's his name? The Dylan Mulvaney bathtub beer scene. I don't know. Is it? What do you guys think? Ashley St. Clair. It's nothing too bad. Isn't she a swimmer? So if she's in a bathing suit, like, I don't know. These are the same guys, by the way. And I'm not picking a side on this, but a lot of the guys complaining about this are the same guys that got mad because Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition was putting men in it. And they were like, that's supposed to be a men's magazine where we get to look at hot women in bikinis. And they're mad because like now men are in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Then when, this seems fairly tasteful, but apparently this Isabel lady did one that was a little more obscene. I think she showed some boobies. I think she showed some booby action, and she's supposed to be like this conservative pundit. And then Roger Stone was backing her up, but I don't know who they were talking about. Who's this Isabella girl? I'm trying to do research right now, guys. We're doing research. Comparing to Cardi B, they're all good at being half naked, but I still enjoy being single more. Are there any beautiful and brave 600-pounders? Yeah, see, at least we didn't do none of that stuff. I don't know. I don't think it was that crazy, but apparently this other lady went a little farther. Who's Bethany Bartlett? Hers is pretty and this Peyton Drew, hers is pretty racy. The Peyton Drew girls, hers is pretty racy, and the Brittany Bartlett and then the Riley Gaines is okay. Okay, anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it is kind of degenerate. Like we're against OnlyFans and we want to push the family. Everybody want to make a dang sexy calendar. What the heck? Who uses calendars anymore? Do people really use calendars anymore like that? Hang a calendar on their wall? But I want to know who this other Isabella girl. I hope it's not Isabella Riley. Because I thought she was based. As far as women go, you know? Yeah, so there's been a lot of backlash and a lot of people are not happy about this.
Hey Seth, it's George Santos, and I see that you're coming.
Okay, I don't want to hear what. Is that really George Santos? I don't want to hear what he says about this. Infighting. Riley Gaines. External references, real Bryson Gray. The fact that conservatives made a calendar with half-naked women, then decided to put Christian imagery on the photos is demonic. Okay, yeah. I didn't see the Christian imagery. I'm not really zooming in and examining. Nothing Christian about it. Bryson's calling them heathens. Bryson riling everybody up. It's funny. I get it, but I don't know. But I don't know who this Isabella person is. Sorry, just doing research, guys. Looks, I'm pretty sure Isabella Riley's against it. She couldn't have worn a bigger shirt, like an apron. Just did cooking videos like Isabella. Let's not pretend. These chicks LARPing as Christian trad whisper, and then she's really just a grifter. Isabella. Oh, Isabella Maria DeLuca. That's who it is. Not Isabella Riley. Okay, yeah, they did say that. Oh, it's about this video, this cake making video. Oh, where'd it go? Eh. The cake making video. I don't know. It's a mess. It's not hard to get sidetracked. I want to see the cake making video. If it's as bad as they were, it's not taking me back to it. Whoa, that's a baby. I don't want to see that. That's just a little baby. She says you can't dress immodest, go clubbing, curse, drink, act provocatively, and expect to find a good husband. And then she's posting pictures. That is kind of, yeah. That is kind of like, all right, whatever. They say she's a grifter. They say she's a grifter. I think all women in the conservative movement are grifters. How about that? What's conservative about the 19th Amendment? Not a lot. Anyway, enough of this. I feel dirty looking at it. I feel dirty. I feel dirty looking at it. Get out of here. Stop tempting me, Satan. Yeah, conservative women. Why you want to go tempting men like that? But somebody was like, some woman called Andrew and she's like, we need to stop all the men simping. The main thing is the problem is the men simping. Andrew's like, and whenever I say anything to these women, they send all these simp men at me to attack me. And he's like, so you kicked the wasp nest and the wasps swarmed at you, right? And he's like, maybe the problem isn't, maybe instead of going after the wasps and trying to stomp them out one at a time, all of them, you just killed the queen in the nest. The nest is the social media that allows this stuff. I haven't seen any nudity, so it is sexually provocative. I don't know. Are they on OnlyFans doing like porn and stuff? Because then they're saying they're Christians, Christian trad wives. I don't know. Like Dana Loesch's picture, she's just wearing a t-shirt and jeans, and she's got two big guns. So I don't know. I don't know who any of these girls are, by the way. Catalina Lauf, Brittany Jean, Ashley St. Clair, Kim Classic, Ashley St. Clair. I guess she's got more than one page. I don't know. I only know Dana Loesch and Sarah Gonzalez, and I've heard of Riley Gaines because of this. I think she's a swimmer or something. Didn't she get beat by a dude swimming? Andrew called her just another online skank. Yeah, when he killed it today. That was epic. He had everybody on there. Tempted by the fruit of another. Far Side Calendar's rule. If she's doing hot picks every day, she's not a good Christian, I guess. Yeah. Well, I could understand if you're like, you're a girl and you've been living that life and then you become a Christian and I don't know, it's something you're still struggling to overcome. I get it, but you can't be a hypocrite. You can't be going around telling women to be modest and stuff and then out there looking like a dang hoe. It is kind of grifty. Like just be like a e-thought. Why do you have to be a conservative e-thought? Because that doesn't even make sense. Last calendar I had was some hot tennis gal. Was it Venus or Serena? What are you into, Matthew? What the heck? I hope it wasn't Venus or Serena. Whoa, I don't want to read that, Dean. That's weird. My calendars are from the local taco shops. Nice. I might have a calendar somewhere, actually. All right, guys. I don't have anything else for tonight. Hopefully, depending on what time it happens and what goes on this week, I'm busy this week. I got a lot to do. I won't be able to do many gaming streams. But definitely we will be back here next Monday. It just may be at a different time. We'll have to see what happens. And I'll try to stream. If I don't get to see it live, I'll go back and do a live reaction to a not live debate with Destiny and Alex Jones and Glenn Greenwald. That should be good on January 6th. So I'm going to hang Anna Kournikova. Ooh, okay. I'm going to head out, guys, though. It's only 9:30. Short little show. Thanks for hanging out. God bless everybody. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed. If you like it, tell a friend. If you hate it, tell everybody. I'll have the New Year's Prosperity Goulash Jambalaya video coming out soon. So check that out, guys. And